I've got this friend of mine who used to be a fundi, but he got hurt on the job and then lost both his legs. I know it's a sad story, but now he's a handyman. That took you a while. I've got a fun fact. Like any fun fact. I'm so sure nobody.
I better have fun.
Yeah? Do you know every human being, when they are born, they're born with 4 kidneys. And then later on, 2 of them become adult knees.
All right, let's start the show, goddamn. Watch a show, Yanzi. Welcome to another awesome episode of Boxpod. And I know, man, the bar just keeps getting lower and lower. I feel like we've taken it much lower than last time. But of course, as we always do, we are on our journey to 100,000. Yes, 100,000 subscribers. And we're almost on our 100th episode. Yeah.
Yay.
So what you need to do, subscribe if you haven't. Hit that like button. Get that notification in. Once you see an episode, make sure you're always in the know, right? And of course, most importantly, leave a comment and share. Let your friends know that there's an awesome community called Boxpod here. Now, I've been very excited to have this guy on our pod, man. We've been talking about it.
Yeah.
Halafu, the guy went underground. We did not know where he is. We're over here, we're over here, we're over here. And then there's another time I was on air. I said something about the guy. The guy responded very quickly. There we were. We're like, yo. And guys are like, when you guys are beefing? I'm like, us guys can't beef because we come from the same village. Okay? So, if you have not yet guessed, my father used to have a number plate of this guy's name.
Yeah.
And that's where our beef started. Ladies and gentlemen, KRG!
Yo. Ni mzee Buga. Niko ndani ya Boxpod.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Mambo imechemuka. Hello, miaka 650. You have to subscribe to this one of the baddest.
Yes.
Can I just ask you, like, from your intro, a couple of things that you usually say?
Yeah.
Buga. Buga, what does Buga mean?
I want more.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
In what language?
It's an it's in Arabic.
Did you just make that up?
No. It's like a cousin of mine who gave it to me.
Okay.
There's another, we were in Mombasa vibing some other time, man. Lakini wewe hauritikagi wewe. Kila saa ni buga. You want more and more and more. So I don't stop, I want to win more. Yeah.
All right.
650.
Miaka 650. That's a slogan for somebody who has a vision.
Yeah.
Like Moi had a vision of Kanu ruling Kenya for 100 years. Bado watarule tu 100 years. Mpende, msipende. Sasa mi pia Buga, empire yangu, 650 years.
Oh, wow.
Na sasa ilianza lini? Sasa hiyo unafaa kwa like 640.
Mimi niko kama 200 sahi.
Umebaki 200 years?
Tushaingia ndani 200. So tunasonga.
So you've lived for 200 years, bro.
My
like
grandfather tunasonga.
So this
bado iko jakufa.
For the girls who are watching, this is what's called boy math. I'm not understanding what's going on, but I'm just gonna go with it. It sounds provocative.
it gets the people going.
Okay, But welcome, Mambo ya Michimka, and I like how you introduced yourself. Actually, it's a true story. Let's first iron out the beef.
Yeah.
Just mention story ya
KRG.
KRG.
For me.
Beef ilianza aje? Alisema nini?
I went on the radio. I was on the radio, and then I said, I don't know, I can't remember the exact words. The producer rolled the tape, and I saw KRG saying, "Oh, someone give me director to me so that I can I'll pay someone if you can make her not a Kenyan." And I'm just like, KRG, not in a bad way, but else ain't losing no sleep over you. How? KRG to her is probably a number plate her dad had like back in the day, right? But she's hanging out with Beyonce. KRG aliona hii akasema, what? And the way blogs are, those ones for mulikaing shit.
Yeah.
So of course, and that was just hot off the heels of Kali. I'd said some shit about Kali.
Yeah.
and guys are like, and guys like we're getting finyo where there's no finyo. So anyway, so my dad used to have a KRG, and actually it was I think it was a Honda. I kind of used to like that car. It was a nice car.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the story. So every time I hear KRG, I remember that moti. But then here's the Don himself. Anyway, we squashed the beef very quick. It was...
Yeah, me, I don't really keep beef. Online beef, I leave it online. It's good for entertainment. When someone says something negative about you and you feel like, let me just respond. you let it be there, you don't carry it at home.
So all the beef is never serious. It's just games.
There are those ones that when I meet them, I'll still beat them.
Kasipul.
No, Kasipul is a madman. you can't be discussing about mad men.
He says mad things, yo.
Honestly. But
Sometimes he just speaks because he has a mouth. You have to understand.
Yo.
But there's some things that he speaks, they make sense, but others, they don't make sense. Yeah.
What makes sense?
Like
Has he ever said something and then
like-
you're like,
like I'm
umekaa hapo
going-
unaangalia simu you're like, enyewe, this
at
guy is-
lunchtime, he says, I'm going to eat.
Yeah.
Yo, it's so crazy you say that. But I mean, guys, what were you expecting? I mean, Jita Chawe race. From there you already know. Like he's just gonna say what's gotta be said.
Yeah. And you know where Chawa stay.
That's it. Like he's just doing what he's gotta do. But like you've not had beef with somebody like where you feel, especially in the industry, because I feel like if you don't set up boundaries on how people to interact with you, especially if you're a fun guy, you're just like, I may take things easy. Someone can say something to you that you feel, okay, that one has crossed the line.
To me, when I was beginning, so many people they were hating because they don't know. They don't know they don't know my story. They don't know how I've planned my game. They're just, jumping in something that is already moving. So I really don't care because you're just coming in, throwing in your dirty words, not knowing that me, I'm already immune to that kind of nonsense. So me, I'm already focused on what I want to achieve. I have like 2 years to make noise. I am making noise. Regardless of who is going to tell me to stop, I am still making noise until I achieve what I want, and then I go and do other things, because I know I have limited time to do things. I don't have the entire lifetime to do entertainment. I have businesses to run. I have family to take care of, Yeah, man.
All right. I think we're just going to get right into it. Where the hell did you go? Because there was a time every single day.
Yeah.
Or even every few hours.
Yeah.
There was a headline. It was not even every
KRG
day.
did this.
Every
KRG
few
has done
hours.
this.
KRG amenyamba. Like it was every day, every single thing you do.
Yeah.
And then you had your podcast.
Yeah.
And then zoop. So I want you to hold that thought.
Yeah.
Let's start from the beginning. How did you... Because the first time I heard of KRG was music.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, so, I will blame this to the Kenyans. Like the fans and the people who are supposed to be supporting the art. I don't know what they want or how they take business or what they want to achieve in life, because there's so many great talents out here in Kenya, but they don't get support, because there's so many gatekeepers. So when we were beginning music, I came in as a label owner and a financer in music. So we started up with a couple of artists. They were doing well musically, but the gatekeepers were so many. We couldn't break them. So I threw in money.
When you say gatekeepers, who are these people?
You did not find them. You guys are... You are still new in the game. They are those old guys, the old guys in the radios and TVs. You see, before the internet came, we were using traditional TV and radios. So you had to know a guy. You have to know like the watchman first. They open you the gate. You have to know the receptionist, and everybody unakata kata kwa gate, kata hapa presenter ndiye acheze ngoma yako, kata unafanya follow up, kata. So it was too much, and you see. Music was regarded as a job for losers. There is no parent who could have allowed the child to do music as business. Umeanza mambo ya DJ na mziki, we toka enda home. Sasa wewe umekuwa kama mwizi, we toka. Kama wewe utakuwa daktari hapa kwangu ama kitu ya maana yenye tunaona iko na mshahara, we enda. Wewe unataka kuharibu maisha. And this is something that we knew. Art has money, but we need to. You have to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
So many artists come from a humble background. Not every artist can be able to pay for studio and maybe do marketing, because music is very expensive. It's not like any other business. Like you open a shop today, you buy bread and milk, and you start selling tomorrow. Music is something that you have to do music, produce it, you believe in your art first, and then you make it a running thing, you know. After some time, then you create a fan base, and then people follow you. Right now, you can do it because of the internet. Before, you have to be played on radio and TV.
So,
So
when you're
those
saying before,
gatekeepers, yeah.
when is this?
I'm talking about 2013, 2014, 2015, back in the days. So when we were starting, so it was crazy because all the radio guys, they were seeing me coming, I come there with a big machine. So they're like, okay, sasa huyu mtoto amekuja na hii gari kubwa, huyu akona. Wanafanya ka background check, wanaona huyu akona tu pesa mingi ya kuharibu, lakini talent hakuna, because I was not doing it myself, I was doing it for other guys. So I was like, these guys, they don't see the vision I have. Mine is, we want to do business, make artists. Artists have their own lives to live and also families to feed. And also, the bigger picture is I wanted to own so many different factories, but we have to use artists as the faces of the products that we want to bring in the market. So I didn't want to be famous. I didn't want to be famous at all because I was camera shy. I didn't want people to know me. I just wanted me to have my low-key life and have artists that I've signed, and we do the business and everybody goes home happy. So it was so frustrating to a point that we had to figure out ways of to be popular on our own, because we tried everything, still there is nothing. We tried all other avenues, there were blockage. And then also the artists that we had at that time, when they got small success with the effort that we had put in, they ran away from the studio. Others got few hit songs and then they disappeared. I said, oh, okay, now I'm left alone with my label. We have talent. People don't like the music we are putting out right now. So what do we do? Back to the drawing board. There is online media. Twende tukonge. Twende turoroe mpaka Wakenya watujue. Washa camera. We got so much attention. Fame is there. But now we need to go back and put out music. And then now the producers that we started with, everybody has gone different ways. And we decided now we need to form a new team. And then now different things happen in the country. And then I'm not seeing things going right. And then I said, you know what? I can still do my own life without these things. Then I quit. Yeah.
I think you surprised everybody with your collab with Conscience and in and around just, you know, being an artist, like you say, from way back in the day. Now, where is, according to you, like where is Kenyan music right now, monetary wise? Like, can you be a millionaire, a billionaire off of just being an artist in Kenya?
Yes, you can. But as where we are right now, there is nothing happening because all the bodies that we've been trying to fight or maybe push so that we can get our revenues from the music, still all of them, they're just, you know, it's just cartel after a layer. You finish this layer, you find another layer of cartel, you know. So you can't make so much money from music directly, but you can make money in music business. You can use your music to do other things, you know. Like MCSK, it collects money from people, but what they give out, it's peanuts. Because if you go to any shop that has a license, they have paid between 5,000 and I don't know how much, 5,000 and 10,000, I don't know, in between there. But what they give to artists is like a quarter, like 0.00001% of what they have collected, because most of the money goes to pay people in offices, others steal, you know, so many bunch of things that they do with the money that is really not the business they are supposed to be doing. You know, and other avenues like people where we collect music, money from music is like digital platforms. But you see now there are so many other elements that we have not yet, the system has not put in place. Like you can't tell how much money you've generated from your platform. Not unless you take the numbers they have given you.
So let me get this straight. Hold on. So and that's a very interesting thing that you've mentioned, because South Africa has just done this thing, and I remember we were talking to Heavy K about it, how this is a big issue all across the world, where revenues are collected, but
Yeah.
artists don't get their fair share.
Yeah.
There's some countries that are really good at collecting for their artists, and then there are some countries which are really terrible. And South Africa was one of them. But now they put out a law, I can't remember the actual details, you can read for yourself, where now artists will be getting fair share or close to fair share or better than what they were getting for their music. But in Kenya, I've been involved in this when I was doing industry night.
Yeah.
These were the same
Yeah, we
challenges.
tried. Yeah, you tried.
Right?
We were doing all that. We used to support you, you know.
Yeah, we're trying to tell MCSK. In fact, to a point that I remember there was a time I was going to do an activation in to teach people. Mimi nimejitolea. Si ati hata ninapatiwa pesa, nimetoa pesa yangu kwa mfuko, sponsoring industry night to go to Machakos to teach artists about, you know, the value, because you can imagine if you're just waking up and singing, and we're going to get into your investments, right? You're waking up, you're singing, you've invested 10K. For you, it's nothing. But there are so many artists that your 10K is here for.
Yeah.
Like when we were talking with Arrow Boy, do you know how long Arrow Boy worked to be able to get enough money to get into the studio? And that time he was working as a fishmonger, right? So artists have to work hard to be able to get that money to go into the studio. You go to the studio, record your song, right? And then you push, you do everything you can to start people know about the song, and then you get zero. Somebody eats the money from that, or you don't even know you know where the revenue comes from, because you're thinking, once I have this song, it will be a hit, and then money will start coming in. Disillusionment, right? So MCSK, mi nimejitolea na Machakos, unajua naambia watu nini? They start putting a circular out that me, I'm the one who's eating their money.
What?
So artists didn't come.
Walikulipa.
Yeah.
So you
know, they now say that the money that's usually stolen at MCSK, that I'm part of the cartel. And so me, I'm coming to teach people about how to work with MCSK, and then they send the circular because they have their numbers to tell them that person
They have the
eating your
database.
money. You get? Jeez. That's the game that they're playing.
The system is absolutely broken.
Again, it's set up against so many things. But you see now, one thing they can't stop, it's time. We will try and see what we can as private guys. Me, I want to come up with my own platform where I will be selling my music directly to my fans.
Yeah.
No middlemen. If you like my song and you want to stream, go stream there. I will get my money from the stream. You get? Because how do these guys make money? They get it from the data, you know, like the way you use data to go and you watch on YouTube. There is something that goes to the YouTube guys and what goes to the provider.
Yeah.
Same thing we're gonna be doing. We're just gonna have to just be patient and work on something, the system that can at least help us.
But aren't you scared that it'll go on and affect your numbers in like how many people are going to stream, how people are going to do it? Because
I really don't care how much money I will be losing on the other side, because if I'm earning this one little that is mine, I'd rather have little that is mine than have many numbers. You know, there's so many artists that have big numbers, but they're going to bed hungry.
Yeah.
Why would you be doing big numbers that you don't have food on your table? I would rather have 1,000 views, but I have 100,000 in my pocket.
So your music would not be found anywhere else, only on your platform.
I'll give it an exclusive time on that platform, like a week or two. And then now I can give it to other people to distribute, you know.
Yeah. The reason why I'm saying that is, you remember, I don't know what album Kanye was dropping. Was it Donda?
Yes.
And he initially said, you don't find Donda anywhere else. Go on and download this app. This is where Donda is going to be. And I mean, some people downloaded the app, but after a while,
he realized,
he realized that it's affecting his numbers. Music was back on Apple Music and everywhere else. Jay-Z tried that with Tidal.
Tidal, yes.
With pulling off his music, Beyonce's music, like Rock Nation artists off of the major streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Put it only on Tidal up until they realized, oh, we still need these other ninis.
Yeah, you see, like one thing artists need to understand, we don't have shortage of artists in this world. What you are putting out as your vibe, I can get it on another person. So don't make it so difficult for the fans. You need to simplify it. You just need to educate the fans that if you love me so much, you will not want me to be working to entertain you and I don't get what I'm supposed to be getting. So if you want me to keep on doing what I'm doing, support me better by using this app. Then you transfer them slowly. You know, it will take time, but eventually we will get there.
I like like what you're saying, but
You know.
I mean, again, very idealistic because as we're using Jay-Z's example, let's go back before streaming. Remember when Jay-Z did this deal with Samsung for an album, Rihanna's album?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course there was the challenges of giving it exclusively on the for a certain amount of time on that phone. Like if you bought the phone, you'd have the album exclusively. And it's important we have these conversations because was it yesterday or the day before? I was having a conversation and I was like, look, even us, we're putting our content on Spotify and all these other platforms, right?
Yeah.
What do we get from it? Nada,
Nothing.
right? But and then you think, okay, maybe it's because of the numbers. Maybe if I was doing like hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
And then you see Snoop saying he's collecting $45,000
Yes.
per
And he
year.
has billions.
And he's doing like proper streams on Spotify. He's getting a check for $45,000.
Yes.
So when am I ever going to be Fikiwad? And then so then I was like, okay, I think even for us Boxpod, we're gonna have to start thinking about how to put Boxpod TV on a streaming platform that we're able to get exclusive access for core fans, and then for for not exclusive stuff, you can find it on all the other platforms. And I'd love to know from our audience, right? Because like Buga said, we're working hard to create the content. Your artists are working hard to create the content. Now, just imagine your favorite artist and end up bed hungry.
Yeah.
Why? Or cannot even be able to pay rent, and you're dancing to their banger.
Yeah, that's one thing. But also, I think there is an illusion people need to understand. What people see as numbers, really, most of them really don't, like they don't make sense even to the guys who are supposed to be paying you. You understand? Because they're just numbers. Because what they get also, they are collecting like small coins before they can make one note.
So the system is rigged.
The system is rigged, and also people need to understand that you cannot depend on art alone. You understand? You have to wait. You have to be patient with your art, because if you want to make money from your art, you don't get it from the streams. You will make it by doing the real job. Every artist out there, their dream is not to get money from the streams. It's to do shows. True or false?
It's true.
You
So
make
there's more
music
money-
so
there's
that
more
people
money in
can
shows.
listen. Yeah. On shows, you'll make money. Shows, endorsements, such kind of deals, you will make money. You're pushing some agenda because you're already popular. You have the numbers. There is no rich musician in this world. You can never get money from music directly. You build a name, then you use that name to make money. You make product that people can really buy. Like, I'm buying a phone because this guy has brought a phone or a shoe or a t-shirt. You have to buy something that you are touching. Music only gives you the platform. You understand? Not unless you're doing bigger shows, music can't really change your life.
The Spotify CEO,
Yeah.
when you mentioned that, the streaming is not making money, the Spotify CEO collects, it's about 350,000 per month, dollars, right?
That's like salary.
Yes,
per month.
that's his salary. That's about 35 million. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot. But the rest is in shares. And so last year in shares, he got a payout of about $345 million from the
Oh.
shares that he owns. And you see, when we say the artists are not making the money, the people who are creating the content, it's like, let me put it in a perspective we can all understand, right? A supermarket is basically like, say, Spotify. Spotify is a supermarket. Can you imagine Spotify making, the supermarket making money, and you, the person who has the product, is not making money?
The person bringing the product to the shelf.
Yeah, because without your products, the supermarket is just...
You see what they are trying,
Mr. Manakumat.
what they are doing is they're still telling you that your product has not gone anywhere, it's still there on the shelf, but they have sold it already to a couple of people, because what they sell is copies of whatever you have. You only bring one original and then they sell copies. So it generates smaller amounts, but if you see now, for them, they're the collecting body. They're the one that dictates what are we going to pay out. You can't tell. You can't really say that for one view I have this amount. So if I have a million views, I will get this kind of money. You understand? So it just, it drops down. Sometimes it goes up depending on how much you've put out, And also the advertisers, how do I say? Sometimes when you're going to advertise something on those platforms, you are charged according to your region.
Yeah.
So if your region, let's say in Kenya, our region is like 5 shilling per view. So they collect 5 shilling per view. If they collect 1 million views, that is 5 million shillings, right? So they will take their cut, like 40%. They give the platform that is maintenance like 20%, and then what you get is like 40%. If there is some taxes here and there, and then they deduct. So what you get at the end of the day is like 15 or 10%. Yeah.
Is money usually the only thing that you look at for you to go and say that an artist is successful? I'm saying that with this example.
Yeah.
Let's look at Kenyan music. You're a brand new artist. You've got a viral hit, Wadaglis.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
Angukanayo, drop tuli Angukanayo.
Yeah.
Like it was such a sensational hit.
My guy, they even launched the house for Mukuru. Jana.
Yeah.
Kuru, yeah.
Angukanayo.
They're doing well, yeah.
And then how are artists? How would you advise artists, especially a new artist, to capitalize on that brief inst of fame, where now you're viral everywhere and it's an opportunity for you to go out and make the money? But now what we don't see artists going out to go on and make money out of whatever they've been viral for. And we've seen this so many times. Kaveve Kazoze. Man, hiyo ngoma yake, as in people were jamming to her jam.
Yeah.
And then the other day, Juzi nilimona online her saying that, nilisota.
Now you see, this is a problem that is created by Kenyans themselves.
How so?
Yeah, let's first discuss that, and then we come. You see, like when you become a hit in Kenya, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are doing a great job. You are a radio guy. You have been on radio. You know music. This is proper music. This music took guys time, professionals, time to create this. The audio was perfect. The video was perfect. Those kind of music, they don't get highlights. Kenyans, I don't know if they have their own problems or they like mediocre stuff. I don't know. You can come out from nowhere and your image leaks, and then you become the biggest thing on the internet for like a week. But after that, nobody wants your business. You understand? So those are problems created by the comedian Kenyans. You know, I will say, not the comedians that we know, like every Kenyan is a comedian. So they can just decide today you're going to post Kwambox because of the hairstyle she has. And Kwambox becomes the biggest thing on the internet. Tomorrow, we don't want her at all. If she comes, we don't have anything to offer. You understand? So that's a problem. So there is those viral moments that you have gotten, and there is nothing much you can do with them. And then there is fame that you have earned through hard work. Let's take an example like Bien. Bien has been in the scene, I don't know, from when I was in high school, I guess. You understand? And he has been doing good music when there was Sauti Sol, and then everybody went to do their own thing, and he's still doing very well, you know. And he has paid a lot of attention to his music, and, you know, he has focused so much on his music. And still, according to what we see, Nigerian musicians are doing better than him. Sini ukweli?
Yeah.
But I believe Bien is better than them.
Yeah.
You understand? Bien is a bigger artist than all of those guys, because we have songs that are played everywhere in Africa without PR. You know, because most of the songs that we consume them because of the PR Nigerians put out. They are not better artists than us, trust me. We do better than them. But because there are many numbers and they are risk takers, they have people in different countries who are, I will say, noise makers. They are proud of where they come from and their culture. If a Nigerian open a restaurant in Kenya, they will want everybody to know this is Nigerian. If a Kenyan makes out in life in another place, they don't want to associate with Kenyans. They only want to push the agenda they are pushing there, and they make the money, and quietly, you know. Wakenya si watu wa loudi. I guess I'm one of the guys mwenye nimewahi tokea tu from nowhere nikaamua tu I want to become loudi.
Yeah.
You understand? And it's not because I never wanted to be. You know, it's because situation got me there. I realized I have to be something different.
Wait, are you saying that like when you're doing all this fame moments
Yeah.
that's not you. You're doing
I
it
never
for...
wanted to be. I never wanted to be. If these things worked the way I had planned in my head earlier, nobody could have seen my face anywhere. I could just be low key, na enjoy maisha yangu, niko na wasanii wangu, viwanda vyangu vinafanya kazi, tunachukua pesa yetu chini ya maji, mimi naishi maisha yangu chini ya maji. I couldn't be known by anyone. But because situation forced me, like, we need to have a guy who is going to speak, and you speak the way it comes. Wacha ku filter vitu. Wewe weka vitu vile iko juu ya meza. Wakasirike wafurahi, but hivyo ndo sisi tuko, tusonge na maisha. You understand?
And it's made you like face a lot of backlash even sometimes.
Exactly, because others misunderstood me. Others wanted to use my name to get fame. Like there are those ones who, hey, this guy has gotten a lot of fame already. Let me poke him, see if he'll react, and then we're gonna have like a back and forth with him. And then others, me, I used to look at, okay, what value are you bringing on the table? If I see you have no street value, I can't mention your name. But if I see pia uko na fan base kako kidogo, wacha nikuchokore, mafans wako watanijua. So if all those beefs, most of them, they were just fake. Others, they were real, because I really didn't understand why this guy will attack me online. And I have done nothing wrong to him, Yeah,
na finance bill ukisema finance bill iko sawa, hiyo ilikuwa pia like ni wewe ama si wewe?
You see, for me, the way I see things and the way other people view things, me, I can't put blame on my issues to another person. That's how I move. My principle is, huwezi nifanya mimi kukasirikia wewe kwa sababu yamesema tu kukasirikia. Mimi nitataka kuunderstand wewe, hiyo kitu yako unaleta kwa nini? Ni analyze, nione okay, iko na advantage ngapi na disadvantage. Advantage ikikuwa hata 51, disadvantage 49, tunaenda naye. Kwa sababu at least kuna kitu better than kukaa tu hivyo idle. Wacha tuone kenye itazaliwa. Bora mimi sikufi, tuende naye. You get it? Because this world, we all come and go. There is no one who is a Kenyan more than the other. You understand? Even those ones who are bringing those policies, tutateseka pamoja. So nataka tutateseka pamoja.
Lakini kuteseka yako si kuteseka watu wengine. Watu wanakuona mtandao uko fiti.
Watu wako Futsubishi, wewe uko kwa Mitsubishi. Watu wako Subaru, wewe uko?
But you see now, I'm not going anywhere. Bado niko Kenya. I will still buy fuel. Na price yenye wewe unabuy naye. I will still pay KPLC na hiyo price. But naangalia end goal yetu ni nini? What are we trying to achieve?
There was a time, and especially last year, you look like you were getting very into politics.
Yeah, I'm still getting into politics. I'm still vying.
So is it safe to say that your views are also based off of your political affiliations and ideations?
My ideas and my views are ideas that are real to the people. We can want to bury our head in the sand and assume that Kenya, we have been all good and everything is okay. There is just one guy who has messed up everything. You understand? We want to blame the president for every bad thing that has ever happened in this country.
If you're talking to Rigiji, look in the camera there. When you say we're blaming the president, I feel like it's him.
So me, I am not talking to any politician in particular, but also politicians, they need to style up. Trust me, they need to style up. Because we all know elections happen in Kenya after every 5 years. If this podcast was to happen today here, and we are doing it, and we already have all these mics, and all we are getting are people opening that door and make noise, there's nothing we can do here. You understand? People need to chill. You already have a leader that everybody elected, majority of the Kenyans elected. If he's messing up, we will know tukibakisha kama 1 year to election. Sawa? Saizi kuna model yake anataka kufanya vitu. The only thing we can do is support him and correct him in the right way.
That's just like going for a road trip na mumekuwa club the previous night, alafu the previous night the person who took you from the house to the club mkiwa na yeye alikuwa ako sawa,
alafu ameingia kwa mlevi sana angusha gari,
lakini sasa unasema wacha tufike Mtito Ndei,
wacha tumsome,
no,
akianza kufanya hivi.
No, that's not the idea. The idea is very simple. All these guys, they are politicians. I want you to understand. If you tell me like you want to trust the other politician, is like telling me leo kuna mtu alikuwa pale town anasimama pale kwa Inange Street amesema yeye ni virgin. Sasa tumuamini kabisa. All politicians are like that. You understand what I mean, right?
Wewe unajua kuna virgins huko anga K Street.
Umenielewa?
For real?
Si kuna ma colleges hapo nini?
No, usiku hiyo sawa. Ukitaka tuamini
kuna kwanga na night classes
I can't trust politicians word 100%.
True.
You understand? I cannot trust any of them.
But you're a politician.
You're going to be a politician.
You understand?
He is a politician.
But you see, you focus on what they told you and they will do. You understand? And then give them time.
But
KRG, but we cannot just decide. We cannot decide. We cannot just decide that sasa Kenya imekuwa mahali mbaya kabisa hii dunia.
Buga, let me ask you a question, right? And I know you're a guy for the streets, so you know what the situation is like in the country.
I know.
And for me, I have zero political affiliations. Zero. Like my political affiliation is the red. But if you're not wearing your wristband, hebu enda ununue hiyo kitu. Wewe kwanza ataki politicians wenye wavai hii. Okay? Kila mtu
mimi niko na yangu hiyo.
Where's your flag? Go get your flag. Anyway, Paddy, get your flag. Anyway, so the past maybe I think 5 years, life has gotten extremely difficult.
Yeah, I
progressively.
Know. Yeah.
It's not that it's progressively getting more difficult and more difficult. And then you can imagine, so you have a public that's going through, mtu hawezi kukuambia venye una feel.
Yeah.
Kenye una feel ni kenye una feel.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Pali nakufinyia. So can someone tell you ati hiyo kiatu? It's like you saying, this kiatu is finyaing me. Someone say, hiyo kiatu haikufinyi.
Kiatu ni kali wewe.
Excuse me? So that's Kenyans. Kenyans are seated here saying, this is not about politics. And if you look at, like, for example, last year we saw something quite unprecedented, which is quite unprecedented, but it was about time. Right? Why? Because people are bubbling under with their frustrations. So in that time, we saw Kenyans literally giving each other civic education. Yani kila mtu alikuwa anataka umesikia, and then not even stories za jaba, just combing through, educating each other, and then slowly just telling each other, no, we cannot, with the way I'm feeling, on top of this, life will be unbearable. So much so that I'm willing to take a break from my normal programming to go to the streets to communicate to my leaders. Remember, mimi nilisimama nikakupigia kura my MP. Mimi nilikupigia kura my MCA. Nisikizeni. Easy. And then political ideas differences is normal, right? But it almost seemed at that point it's almost like that's the point where the tone deafness started. Politicians it's like they're speaking from their high horse, right, in the sky, and then Kenyans are those ones on the ground. Ati sasa inakufinya nini? Si ujipatie tu ka 5 years takuwa fiti. Yeah, this is all for the betterment. But in the right now, I cannot be able to live. So, and there was no leader. That's an indication that hapa watu wenye muna lead wanasema unajua nikaona najaribu kupeleka ng'ombe kwa kisima kukunywa maji na imekata
sisongi. I live in a different country. I live here.
You as somebody who has a huge fan base of young Gen Z people who are looking at you at that crossroad when because these are your fans, these are people who you unasikia vijana wanasema wewe unakutana na vijana hapa nje.
Of course.
Wewe unaona venye vijana wako hawana job.
I have even my family members who they were like buga sasa yeye ni mambo gani unaanza. Of course I understand that, but for me the way I want to solve issues is not by going to the street, or because the whole idea why I was against the whole finance bill movement was people are saying we go to the streets, we go to town. Okay, we go to town. There are those ones who come with intentions. We are going to communicate. Those ones are doing the right job. There are those ones who are coming there to steal. They are coming to steal whose money? Business people. Who are those guys? They are our family members, our friends, our cousins. So you can imagine, if this guy has been struggling with his business for over 15, 20 years, then today he lost everything. We were trying to go and fight for something that all of us were going to benefit. But today, we have crippled my cousin forever. Because for him to recover, he will not get a loan. The government won't help him. The people who have looted his business, we cannot even account. We have finished that guy completely.
But what would
and we don't care. You know, we move on very fast.
What would have been the best way to communicate?
The best way, we have something called an internet. We have internet platforms. We have forums. We can reach to our president. We have leaders. We have ways. Do you know if you went to talk to someone in a respectful way, they will listen to you more than when you come with violence, because violence will be met with violence.
Buga, do we live in the same country?
Yes.
Because we first, I want to first categorically say I do not agree with what he's saying, because I was on the street and I know that without the agitation that we made, because remember the conversation started online and people were very vocal about telling the president.
Nothing.
I have one question to throw to you.
Buga. Unakumbuka we started online, right? Explaining and saying, hey, reject. In fact, it was a hashtag, reject finance bill. And then that wasn't being heard. People were even writing and texting their MPs. Mtu mwenye umepigia kura. Unaona ma messages na come in the thousands. At that point you should say, my electorate, when you walinipigia kura, this is what they're saying. But we know that's not what happened. What happened is that person you voted for folded from being a leader to a politician. Akasema, what the party says is what will go. And that's where Wakenya na how leaders walienda.
I totally agree. I have not said that they did. There was procedure that was supposed to be done. That I feel like up to date, the communication was not the right way. Because of what? We lost so many guys out of all this. They could still be around. Sijaiona mtu amekufa kwa sababu ya njaa.
But nikuulize.
Ngoja tu. Sijaiona mtu amekufa kwa sababu ya njaa ama delay ya kitu. Umeelewa? You can eat in your cousin's house today and you survive tomorrow. But ukikufa ni one way. Hata kenye ulikuwa unafaitia utaona. Si ni ukweli? Nothing changed. Si ndio kweli? Nothing changed. Paka leo. What changed?
The finance bill was rejected.
Life ikakuwa better.
But
just answer me.
Well, what people were saying is that this was the word on the street.
Now the guys that lost
like we will reject and then they will start bringing in to
the guys
small clauses.
As a country. We lost young guys who are talented in different fields. They could be doing productive things today in the situation that we are in. Hata kama ni ngumu lakini wangekuwa around. Si ni ukweli? Me, I don't see the reason why anybody should lose their life because of anything political.
But let me ask you, Buga, with that said, who, because remember, it was a non-violent. It was a non-violent. You know, I was on the street every day except one day. Right?
Yeah.
And that day, and every single day I was there, and everything that I recorded, the agitator, ni kama fight. Pahali, mtu moja, amekuja, kamtoi, ako hivi. Na mwingine, the school bully, amekuja na guns. And that's what was happening. So so according to you, you know, because there are two issues here. Kenyans have a right. It is your right constitutionally to express frustration. Today, if I'm frustrated about a decision that my president, who is my servant, is making, how do I communicate that to him? I've tried social media. It is trending around the world. Now we're on the streets, which is my right. Because if today, you're in an office and something has happened, you can say, I'm going to the streets. If today Sakaja doesn't pay workers what kanjo, they will go to the streets. It's their right. Protest is a right, right? Especially if it's being done non-violently. Makara wakakuja. Army wakaletwa. We all watched the BBC documentary. There was no need. There was no reason for anybody to lose their lives except police. The army. Who was killing these kids? Who was shooting at us? I almost died. Buga, what was my fault? I went to say, reject finance bill. We were literally dancing and singing and enjoying ourselves on the streets, being very non-violent. Walikuja na magans. So, unajua, kesho kuna mwingine president atakuja, akuje with very different thinking, and it might even affect your business. You're saying you're never going to go to the street.
There's so many businesses that I was running, they're affected today.
Yeah.
Closed down because of the economic situation of the country. That one I agree. I'm not saying that we are doing very well economically as a country right now. You understand? But at the same time, I will not want us to be violent about it. You understand?
So who's bringing the violence?
Violence solves nothing. Violence, it's the other guy who is aggressive, trying to meet somebody whose job. I want you to understand. Also, these police guys that you meet on the street, they are children. They have kids they want to go back to. They have lives to live. So if you push them too much, they will react.
Yeah, but you don't react by shooting people.
No. I never say that shooting people is good. Yeah. Mimi mwenyewe siwezi taka mtu yote ashutiwe kwa sababu ana express pain yake. You understand? I am not advocating for that. And at the same time, still, I am not saying that. The problem with that situation that was there at that time, there are thugs that were in between the people who are doing the rightful thing. They were protesting their right, they're expressing that. But at the same time, there are those ones who are looting. You understand?
So when you press this
guy, kazi ya polisi ni to maintain law and order.
Yeah, but law and order kwa hao watu wanaloot.
Do you know that protesters are supposed to
maintain law and order?
Protesters are supposed to be protected by the police.
Mtu amchunge sasa alut wewe chunga tuna.
Hapana, unachunga hao wengine, because if there's 1,000 people, mtu mmoja ni mwizi. You don't kill 20 to try and find that mwizi.
But let me ask you also on a lighter note.
And you don't even kill the mwizi until
kama hawa watu wanaweza tu ambiwa sasa tulieni tuongee, wewe useme Kenya na kusumbua tuandike chini, Kenya nasumbua huyu tuandike chini, and then we come up with a solution yenye sisi wote tumesikizwa, a forum. I guess what we need, there are so many social places that people don't use. Mbona unajua social halls ngapi ziko Kenya?
Zilikuwa mingi lakini nasikia zimegrabiwa.
Sasa ni makanisa.
Sasa ni maflats. Kwanza kuna nyingine juzi paka sinani it had to be returned back to the county of Nairobi.
Yeah, you see there nchi yetu vile our forefathers and founders took power, they had a mechanism of us solving issues. You understand? If there is an issue, because issues in Kileleshwa are not the same issues in I will say in Umoja or in Kakamega. Everybody has different issues. Kuna wenye labda sahi wanataka barabara tu, hawataki stima. Si ni kweli? Kuna wenye labda wako na stima sahi wanataka tu unga, wanataka tu chakula. Umeelewa? So different areas have different issues. We cannot say sisi wote tunataka kitu fulani, because kama mtu ako na gari, yeye hataki gari. Yeye labda anataka nyumba. Umeelewa? Ama labda mwingine anataka kitu kingine tofauti. We cannot generalize problems. You understand? And say,
no, but kila mtu alikuwa na problem moja, bro. Kila mtu alikuwa na problem ya hii finance bill, kila mtu alikuwa na problem ya economic times. So we were like, bill, we don't want it.
Yeah, more taxes. And I think also I disagree with you about what Kenyans need. There was a study that was done and they were asking Kenyans what exactly they want. Yeah. And unanimously, guys just want a working country. Nani get? Yeah. Staki handouts, staki chakula, yes. Staki kwa Land Cruiser ukiniambia kenye umefanya. Yeah. Actions speak louder than words.
Yes.
Fanya economy kwa fiti. Yeah. Hautaiona mtu amesimama. Wewe unafikiri buga jiulize, you think there are Kenyans who are seated somewhere who are just
I am not, unajua mimi
I have a dream of standing.
Okay, as much as the president is my friend, I mean kuanga all the time na mdefend, hata sahi bado na mdefend, ni kwa sababu ya nini? I understand that he has only one job, and that job is Kenya. You understand? Let's take Kenya as our house. Nyumba yako yenye wewe unaamkanga every day in the morning. You can't operate in that house when there is chaos. We need to slow down. This one is a call to all the politicians. Can they just shut up and maintain silence for even 6 months? Wawache tu president afanye kazi.
Sudi hawezi. Hata hii mambo ya Boni. Ameweka kamera hivi. Anaanza kuthank Suluhu. You know what I'm saying?
You see the politics, wale wakipiga kelele na sisi tunapiga kelele. Umenielewa? So, wale wakinyamaza na sisi tunyamaze tufanye kazi.
So you think KRG can keep quiet?
They can.
You are asking for too much from a young guy. You are
they have
for
work.
Too much.
They have work, but they cannot keep quiet and see you attack them all the time. Hakuna mtu atakubali wewe unamuattack. Hata mimi najua saa hii Kenya ingekuwa tu imenyamaza tu, president angekuwa kwa ofisi anapanga kazi. ya nchi. Lakini kwa sababu huyu yule amesema hivi, ule amesema hivi, ule ametokelezea hivi. Like sasa kama sasa tumetoa paka wasanii in politics. Tumetoa paka msanii to Selassie anazunguka akifanya tour, anafanya show every day. Na yeye ni mbunge.
Anafanya show.
Unaona ako na show daily because of what tumefanya Kenya ikakuwa pahali nyingine ya mad people. You understand? That is what we have turned Kenya to be, a mad market. We have decided today Kenya, kama mtu kingine tu kalikuwa kanauza viatu hivi, anasema nikiongea mambo politics in the trend. Anaamka tu anaanza kusema sasa mimi mnichangie pay bill yangu ndio hii, because they have realized Kenyans are desperate. But let us address the real issue. We don't have leadership problems in our country. Anybody, hata wewe sasa tukikuchukua tukufanya rais, mambo ni ngumu. Ukikalia ile kiti sasa ndio utajua hapa mambo imechemka. La sasa juu sasa kuna privileges zinakuja na hiyo ofisi kidogo. Siwezi wacha tu niende.
So let me ask you a question, right? And you know, no offense, because me I pay taxes. For example, like, you know, the other day I saw Kabogo, right, who is in an office like ICT. Look, we all know, right, that office needs somebody who's going to actually, no, I don't care whether it's young or old. I need somebody who understands that we're in an AI revolution. And things are about to hit the fan proper. Why? Because a lot of jobs are about to be, so a lot of people are about to be like, what next? How do I earn a living, right? And then you have a guy telling us, this job doesn't even need a professional. You just need someone who knows the times and is studying. Unaget, as in basically saying, this is, weka ni hustler na unasoma kami, unajua mimi najua vitu mob za AI, so naweza kuwa ICT minister. You know, these are the things that make the country, well, you're saying, afadhali, you know, a politician is allowed to, what do you expect from a politician? If you can be like even the barking dog in the madman in the market, we understand that. But from a leader, tumepatia sasa wewe ni CS wa X, right? My guy, these are the things that make...
One thing we as Kenyans do is... politicians, you see, like the leadership that we have, the structure from the presidency, deputy, all these heads, they lead offices. So in these offices, there are people that don't move. They're always there. Hata mkileta mwenda wazimu. Mseme sasa huyu wazimu ndiye atakuanga pale kwa hiyo kiti ya boss. Hizi kazi zinaendelea tu za huku chini. Umenielewa?
So hiyo kiti ni ya nini?
Sasa hii kiti inakuanga tu ni kama ceremonious. Most of the time in other offices. That's what I've come to realize. Because they don't have, not all leaders that they are given opportunities to serve in different capacities. They really have ideas. Because me, I've met a couple of them and I have brilliant ideas, because maybe nimepata privilege ya kumit hao na nilikuwa na idea nataka tufanye pamoja, maybe ita shape up a few things, but they don't get it. You understand? But because maybe he's a leader, a politician from a certain area, akona watu wake wenye ana lead, na akikuwa in that position kuna some benefits watu watapata, watanyamaza. That's what imekuwa ikihappen. Kwa sababu ya nini? Everybody anataka kupiga kelele. So ukiona watu wanapiga kelele na leader wao ni kwa box, unachukua kwa box, unaambia kwa box nyamazisha hawa watu, kuja kidogo uingie hapa kwa hiyo ofisi unyamazisha hawa watu wako. Tukishatoa huyu leader wale hiyo ndio situation yenye tumejipata most of the time kwa sababu ya nini? Watu hawa, so many people, so many professionals, they have not, they fear. I don't know what they fear. They fear to mess.
No, you don't want. From the politician, from the professionals that I've spoken to, because we do ask these questions, like, why do we have, like, in like with the example I've just given, and they say, I don't want to get into government to mess my career. Right? Ukiingia gava, you know, kidogo, you know, some political, something is happening, and they do the shake up and then put the blame on you. That, you know, money has been stolen, blah, blah, blah. So mtu anaona, hey, if I'm already career driven and prosperous in this side, why enter into public service?
That one, me, I will say that's a coward move, because if you know your capacity in your field, like you are the best in your field, but me sitaki kuingia huku juu watasema.
Okay, so let me ask you.
Me, my experience in this world, I don't want to die with things in my head and I never did them. If I have time to do everything that I want, I can do better than another person. Nyinyi semeni tu. Lakini at least nitakuwa nimesaidia nchi yangu kwenda mbele, because success of Kenya is success for all of us. If Kenya fails, it is a failure to all of us. Ni ukweli?
You're the one who mentioned about structure. So let's imagine you're Minister of ICT.
Yeah.
You know, every day there's always a documentary that has been done by African Censored. By the shout out to you and the awards that you got, or the other BBC. This is TV zingine zimelala.
Yeah.
Siko baya. Musinikamie. Oh, except that guy for NTV. There's a guy doing some fantastic work with crime cases on NTV. I love your stuff. It's called Abuya, or I've forgotten his name. Anyway.
Yeah. That guy.
Every day they're doing a documentary, they're saying 67 billion. Because today I read it was 211 billion. Money that has been stolen. Okay?
By who?
You see, who there, of course. Who
Yeah.
Then it's see. Now you're the
Nani
minister.
amefunguo?
UNCS,
Yes.
ICT. Umesema hakuna kitu nafanya hapo tu ni dread na look good. Si ndio sawa, no problem. Ama Kihara, Kabogo style. Alafu,
Yeah.
you've gotten the call.
Yeah.
Remember your contract.
Peticha.
Fanya hivyo. Na ukumbuke nusu
Vile tulipanga.
ya macho. What's your next move, bruv? And that's why kama mimi nimse, if I'm not every Kenyan is into trying to steal.
Yeah.
They are very honorable people. And even me, I've always thought about getting in since I was a kid, being a leader.
Yeah.
But then when you see, I've seen people who I know personally, we've grown up, and who they've become now. So you start to realize that even though you have great ideas of how you want to build, and you've come up with like I know how we're going to get Kenya to the tech revolution and all this stuff, but EU has given a check there 200 billion. It's your name that's going to make that signature on that paper. Are you going to do it?
So if you don't do it,
exactly,
if you don't do it,
Somebody else
will do it. So this is what I want us to understand kwanza. Kitu ya kwanza kwamba Kenya haina leadership problem. We have a system problem. You understand? The system that we are using is a very old system of government that was I don't know, tulipatiwa na wazungu, because sisi hatuko tunajua hii mambo. Tuongee ukweli. Sisi wote tulizaliwa hapa Kenya tukiwa uchi. Tulifunzwa tu kwa mashule hapa. Ideology nyingi ni zile za wale wa jamaa. Si ni ukweli? So we are serving wale wa jamaa. Ideas zile ziko hapa, haziwezi tupeleka mbali sana as a country. Kuna already washatuwekea level of success as Kenya hapo juu ya kichwa yetu, because there are so many things that the public doesn't know. There are so many places in Kenya that you as a citizen you can't enter. You understand? They are owned by people in other countries. They signed treaties with our forefathers before even they handed over the country to us. You understand? There are so many things that we have not discovered, but because we are busy with what we know and what we are fed by the media and what the propaganda, there's some people also who work for other people in different countries that live in Kenya here, in different names. There are people who run different NGOs to disrupt our peace in the country and shift the focus of what we want to achieve as a nation. So we need to understand we are fighting so many fronts as a country, and for us to be able to achieve all that, we just need to focus on what is important. What is important in this country, it is service delivery to the people, not the politics. The politics, if you listen to politicians in Kenya, you will become a mad person.
Bro, you are currently doing politics.
But,
I asked you a direct question. I asked, okay, you are CS of ICT, right?
Yeah.
You're getting a call. Explain that system, right? Where money has come in, and this is you can check all, like in fact, follow Murara's page and see all this, whether it is governor, whether it is a MP amepatiwa pesa ya bazari, whether it is the MCA atako na 5 bob ya kupatia watu ya maji, somebody somewhere amepangia every money. In fact, I can categorically
they give you
say
money and they budget it for
every cash that is for public service, kuna mtu amepangia hiyo pesa.
Now, sasa
na unasikia
hapo sasa inafika pahali you are in an office that your hands are tied, ama?
Exactly. And that's, you're asking why people don't want
and
to be politicians.
telling you we don't have leadership problems because tunapata leaders wazuri lakini system ndio inakuwa iko mbaya.
So
nani
it's quite contradicting. Is it the leaders we have now?
Hakuna mtu aliunda hii system. Hii system tulipewa na wazungu. So what we need to come up with as Kenyans, it's a good government system. Hiyo ndio ile kitu tunafaa kutafuta sasa hivi.
What do you mean?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Aje system.
Kwamba power ikuwe devolved in different places.
Aren't we
But
currently
it's
in a
already
devolved system?
47 counties.
No, hivyo tu ndio ile inaonekana. That is what we want to assume and bury our heads like iko sawa.
All right, tell us how.
You understand? Because how do these other small county governments operate?
So where does power lie right now, according to you?
Right now, I think more power is in presidency. Sindio?
Yes.
And then to these other leaders. You understand? It trickles down. But I will say, the system that we have right now, ndio iko na problem. Kwa sababu ya nini? So much power is invested in one person.
Are you affiliated politically to like any politician right now?
Yes, of course I have. Mimi niko na chama.
Chama yako ama uko kwa chama?
Niko kwa chama.
Chama gani?
UDA.
That's why you're saying the president is good.
No, I'm not saying it's good because niko kwa chama peke yake. It's because I understand all these things that are messed up right now in the country. Sio makosa yake as an individual. You understand? These are things that have let us just go back kidogo. These are things that have been let's go back kidogo to understand mali tuko sahi. So tumefika hapa kwa Kenya sahi tuko na madeni kibao. Kwa sababu ya nini? Tulikuwa tunakopa, tunaleta do, yapigwa. Umeelewa? So there is a time Kenyans really enjoyed. Tusisahau hiyo. Kutoka 2012. No. Kutoka 2008 paka 2017. Ile pesa ilikuwa Kenya. Hiyo miaka kadhaa. Sidhani Kenya kumaikuwa na pesa nyingi hivyo. True or false?
Let me ask you a question.
Tuangaje tu tuongee. True or false? Si hata uko na struggle sana.
Me, I feel like we are diverging the issues. Why?
No,
because
tuangalie issue. Let us, if you want to look for problems.
I'm not looking for problems.
No, so if we are looking for solution, can we first identify the problem? And then now we cure the problem.
So let's move away from this. I have a better question.
Yeah. Why are you running away from mine?
No, because
I was coming and you know I was going to finish this matter.
No,
very
because
well.
I have a better question.
No, let us first look at where we went wrong as a nation. We borrowed so much. Some money went to do the right job. Building roads, tuko na mabarabara zilijengwa, buildings development hapa kule, but most money was stolen. Who stole the money?
Who did? I don't know.
Those leaders that are telling us today that this other guy is not a good guy.
But I just want to remind you that
You
a lot of these guys
But
were
these
in
guys
that same government.
These guys were there.
These same guys.
They were there. So they cannot tell me that who is sasa ni mbaya na walikuwa wabaya pia.
So wabaya ni nani? Ni wote?
Wote ni wabaya.
All right.
Wale wanapiga kelele. So now wanapiga kelele leo ni kwa sababu the president that we have right now, he's so alert. I will say the only problem that we have with the president Ruto, you are so alert that people are not eating the way they used to eat. Sasa hawa wakuli wanakukasirikia juu wewe uko kwa steering.
Okay.
You understand? There are leaders that I know. I don't want to mention names because mistaki kuanza kufurugana na watu. They stole a lot of money and left the country. Wakatoroka na pesa ya Wakenya kabisa kwa sababu walikuwa na position ya power. Sasa sasa wa Kenya wameenda wamekaa tumeteseka Wakenya tumeteseka tunasema na ule jamaa aliendaga wapi? Alafu huyo jamaa anatokelezea from nowhere anasema majamaa niko. Na huyo jamaa is part of the problem that we have.
Wewe si uangalie tu kamera na umtaje.
Mzee
Mtaje tu kwa kamera.
Sasa kumtaja sasa hivi 2026 ile maneno nitakuwa natoa kwa hii mdomo yangu. Watakuwa wanajificha.
Now let's get into that.
And sasa is not that time because right now my business is not to say who did what. You understand? My business right now is just to study the game and study the landscape and come up with solution for the people that I want to lead.
All right,
is it your decision or is it orders from above?
What?
Is it your decision or is it
my decision?
Your
Okay.
decision?
Yeah.
I have a question. As we now phase off from politics into business, maybe mention 3 things that you think the president is currently winning on.
Okay,
like things he's doing good.
Okay, one thing. You see, we have not seen images of what. Okay, let me first go back kidogo tu. The president told me personally that there are some things our former president could not take. You understand? Because the Kenyans are so rowdy, guys. You want to do something, they feel like they were not involved, or maybe it's too much for them. They don't want that. They start making noise. And then former president says, hii maneno mimi sita. Hii kelele watu ni mingi. Wewe uko sawa na mimi niko sawa. Tuachane na hii kitu. But the president that we have right now, he said, hata mpige kelele. Kama hii kitu ni mzuri kwa sisi wote, tutaifanya hata kama ni painful. Success ikifika, tutaenjoy sisi wote. Tutaenjoy sisi wote. Kwa sahi kasirika kwa sababu tumekunyima pesa ya salon, lakini wewe lazima ukue na nyumba wewe. Salon utaenda baadaye, lakini nyumba wewe lazima ukue naye. Umenielewa? Which I feel it's a good thing. You understand? Because we have a slum that has been here since independence. You understand? But if we move these guys to have quality life, wataishi maisha mzuri. Na hiyo slum itakwisha na maisha itakuwa. Kwa sababu nguo yako ikiraruka leo, imaanisha umekufa. Utapata designer kali tena kesho. Si ni ukweli? But wewe ukikosa pahali ya kulala, unalala kwa nyumba yako wewe umejisave kabisa, hujawasha gas, ulizima stima, ukatoa charger. Mtu mwingine alikuwa huko, akaamua yeye akunywe tu pombe, nyumba yake akachoma mattress. Ndio umekosana na demu yake. Wewe unakufa hapa, uko umelala uko safe. You understand? So he decided we have to end something called a slum. We will not have slums in the
So you're talking about housing project.
Housing project will be here, and it's big because I've seen
15 years, bro. Like, this guy has got 2 years left. So you said we give him time up until like the last.
No. You see, government does not work the way you want. It works. If something starts, it has to finish. Hata kama mimi nimeondoka kwa kiti. Umenielewa? So it has started na mmeona benefit yake, wenye watakuja wanaendelesha, wanaanza tu zingine mpya, wanaongeza, because government, you don't cut down everything that you found. You only add on to.
Okay, so housing project?
Housing project is number 1 kwa sababu hata Big 4 agenda ya Jubilee ilikuanga na housing project, lakini waliitoa kwa sababu ya kelele ya Wakenya ilikuwa mingi. Hiyo ni number 1. Number 2, Kenya nimerealize watu wahame town waende ushago. Waende wakafanya ukulima. So many people
urban
left
to rural.
Yes, so many people left villages, they came to the city thinking hapa ni rahisi kidogo. Sasa hapa imekuwa mawe, turudi sasa nyumbani, lakini sasa tukirudi nyumbani tuende tukafanye ukulima. Kwa sababu sasa dunia food ndio commodity yenye kila mtu anahitaji. Na we have a lot of land in Kenya. But ukienda maushago na driving gari, unalala, unaamuka, hakuna kitu. Kwa nini? We went to school to learn so that you can go. Why is the whole reason why everybody left home to go to school is because you go and get information and you learn so that you can come and be productive. Nyumbani kwanza, because charity begins at home. But everybody ran away from home. Why are you running away? Go back home. Be useful to your community. Watu waanze kujipanga kurudi mo. Hata mimi naenda ushago.
Nani abaki Nairobi?
Nairobi, tutakuwa tutatuma tu wale wenye wako jobless.
So let me get this straight. So how is this affiliated again to the president's wins?
Because it is a win for Kenya. Tutapunguza njaa.
Wait, so is he telling people, because I've not had a urban to rural migration campaign.
Sasa you will hear maybe ajasema, lakini plan pia
ndio nimekuuliza niambie vitu tatu. Yes. Tell me 3 things that you can say that government ya Ruto in a win, as in so tuseme in midterm, si ndio? In midterm exams
in a win,
unasema housing project. Yes. And I know kwanza like Kahile ya Mkuru for example, unajua alilaunch akasema I'm very proud, lakini hiyo project unajua budget ilitoka kwa Uhuru Kenyatta. So now the question now here is, you see, these are the things that Kenyans, hii project ilianza kwa hiyo nini? Ilianza huko, exactly.
But imeendelea na ziko zingine nyingi. Kuna mahali mimi najua nachimbua sasa mchanga.
Tell me 2 other things that you as Bugai are saying I salute.
Okay, you see like the SHA. The chief and SHA, the SHA thing, yeah. NHIF was not working well.
Yeah.
Because I know people who are stealing money in the name of that
hospitals collective,
yeah, whatever.
Have you said anything about it?
What?
Like you said you know people who are stealing money.
No,
like, have you said anything about it or done anything?
Mimi si
Where's
president.
snitch?
na mimi kwa sababu ilishaibiwa haiwezi saidia kwa sababu you cannot sasa sema ndio hiyo wenye walichukua. Umeelewa? But system yao ilikuwa na cracks nyingi sana. Umeelewa? Pesa ilikuwa inapigwa kila wakati. Na watu wenye wana run clinics wanakuja na wagonjwa. Hakuna wagonjwa lakini they ask for the money because wako na files na wako na information yako na nini they claim the money. But this other one ni corruption free. Kwa sababu ya nini? Right now ukitibiwa ile umetibiwa ndio inalipwa. So ile nyingine ya ukora yenye kulikuwa na makateli wengi kwa sababu vitu hazikuwa kwa system, zilikuwa ni old ways. Files ya makaratasi. Nani anajua nani? Kwa hiyo mimi na wewe tukishikana tunaamua wewe enda ufungue kliniki huko kwetu Mosocho na wewe uko na per week uko na wagonjwa 1,000 na watu wana claim fund. Mimi nakudungia yako hapo, si mimi ndo na clear na kudunga yako, wewe unacheza kama wewe, huyo anacheza kama yeye, tunaenda home tukiwa happy. But this is something that we could not sustain as a country. You understand? There are some things we couldn't sustain because a lot of money that was being stolen, it was just going to few other individuals and hawa wanakuwa kama small gods in different areas. So there are systems that are put in place right now by the current regime. Na at the end of the day, sahi ni mbaya kwa sababu unga ikikatwa wale watu wana fund watu wengine waende waseme kwa sababu ni unga yao imekatwa. You know, you have to understand so many things that are coming from individuals when wanataka ku fight. They are not fighting because ati ni kitu mzuri. They are fighting because kuna kitu yao kuna kitu imeharibika mahali. Umenielewa? And there are some leaders right now who are against the president. Na bado hata hawa ni makatel. Kwa vitu vingine kama kahawa, kama nini. There are some people, I don't want to mention names, there are some people that I know wana enjoy pesa ya kahawa sana kwa hii nchi. Umenielewa? More than the farmers. Lakini kwa sababu hawa ni makatel tu, wamejiweka kama position fulani wana enjoy.
So you're saying so okay, I get it. It's a great idea. Everybody wants to be able to access healthcare without necessarily cutting a limb or selling shamba. But then at the same time, yes, the issue we have is the actual rollout, right? Now imagine uko na mgonjwa ako na cancer. Ushaikuwa na mtu ako na cancer?
Nishaikuwa na rafiki na cancer.
Sasa imagine hawezi access chemo. Hawezi get dawa. Why? Because we are trying to rule out cartels. So the question here is there a better way to be able to rule out these things rather than the only jamming it up our
you're transitioning. Now, what I will say is transitioning from the old system to the new one. Ndio ilikuwa kidogo, ilikuwa na patamshike pale. That's what I will say because kulikuwa na gap. There's some things sometimes kulikuwa na failure of this one is not working completely and this one has not started working.
And these things
it's affecting Kenyans. There I will not say it was a good thing.
And these things personally, are life or death.
Say,
they are life or death.
I understand. I totally understand. There I disagree with that. But the bigger picture, you understand? What I'm talking about, we are discussing right now here is not what happened. It is the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that let the system work, everybody apate benefit. Hata mimi nikikuwa na pesa yangu kidogo 5,000 kwa mfuko na mtu wangu akwe mgonjwa na niko na ile insurance, kuliko nitumie pesa niko nayo, wacha tutumie hii kitu yenye already iko na government na kila mtu analipia taxes. Si ni ukweli? Hii 5,000 yangu tutumie kufanya vitu vingine. There are so many things that will work. But with the negativity that we have cultivated in our mind that sasa Kenya is for dead is not the right way. We have to be positive kidogo and everybody needs to play a part in hata sisi wote tunaishi kwa imani. Ni ukweli you sleep every day not knowing sometimes biashara zako zitakuwa aje because vitu hazijalign vizuri na una start na unasonga. Hata nyinyi simuliwacha radio. Ndio hapa leo.
Ndio hawa sisi.
Na siko watu walikuwa wanadiscourage wanawaambia ile mambo mtakutana nayo huko nje ni mbaya sana. Kaa hapa ukulange hiki kitu yenye uko sure. Lakini let me tell you, in the beginning it's difficult. Everything in the beginning is difficult. Hata saa hii mnakaanga hiviko hata nyinyi najua mnaenda home mnasema ni kama tulifanya makosa. Tungekaa tu kwa radio but when the ball starts rolling, it becomes easier with the time. Trust me, things will be better in this country and everybody will be happy Kwa sababu hakuna, mimi niko ile miaka kidogo nimekaa dunia, hakuna rais amaika kwa kiti tukasema nao tumepata Prince Charming, huyu ndio the best in the world.
2002
hatujawahi.
2002
Kibaki was in power. Tukasema huyu hakuna. They almost burnt this
no
country.
but remember when he joined he joined
wakasema nini, and then 2012 when now he was handing over power to Uhuru Kenyatta, first year ya Uhuru Kenyatta tu watu wakasema hapana, huyu si mzuri, afadhali ona Kibaki alitujengea Thika Road nini, akamaliza. Uhuru akamaliza yake. Sasa wewe unakumbuka hapa Monday watu walikuwa na tuango hapa tear gas mpaka ilikuwa na ile Monday maandamano Monday.
Haya.
Tulikuwa tunakuja, Raila anakuja anatupitisha hivi anatupeleka watu. Every time there is no leader that has ever been loved. Let us be honest. Umeelewa? Na sasa tuko na Rais William Samoei Arap Ruto.
Nipatie ya 3. Buga nipatie ya 3.
Mimi unajua mimi sifanyi kazi kwa ofisi ya rais.
So wewe unasema kama beshte yake.
Yeah.
As a Kenyan, as a Kenyan, you have to give me the third thing. The third thing that you see your friend, the president, unasema you know what, bro, you're doing a good job. The third thing. Anything, right, it could be anything. You say, you know, the security in the country, you know, I love how you've handled this what's they call kidnappings and abductions, you know, I love how you've dealt with the opposition now that they're folded into the government. I love how you've handled the judiciary. I love how you've handled parliament. What is it? Like what's the third thing that you say?
I've not paid attention so much on what is going on currently because I have my own things that I'm doing on the side.
Okay, then with another question, what would you, because unajua ubeshte, ukiangalia beshte yako, unajua mi Bugayo ni beshte yangu, unikiona unafanya kitu mbaya that is uncharacteristic of you, mi nda slide in your DM ni kuambie bro, hapo umebant.
Sasa nitafanya hivi.
Ni kitu gani yenye unaweza sema
podcast bado iko hapa?
Ni kitu gani unaweza sema hapo umebant?
Okay, pale mimi naweza ona kidogo tu imebant kidogo ni communication. Umeelewa? Communication ya vitu zenye president anataka kuachieve. Na the way vitu zinasemwa ni the wrong way. Umeelewa? Because there's so many great things that anafanya lakini haifikii watu. Umeelewa? Kwa sababu kelele yenye huko nje ile vitu hafanyi na ile mbaya ndio imeoutshine zile vitu anafanya. Umeelewa? He can't just be doing wrong. Ile kitu tunaweza taka wale watu wenye wamejialign na president tuongeze bidii kidogo kusafisha rada na kusema zile vitu, to highlight zile vitu anafanya, you know, more oftenly, because you see like what happened jana juzi atakuja wa launch nini hiyo story, alafu sasa tuachie wale wengine wa kurusha maneno machafu, kwa sababu you see like right now Kenyans are just consuming information they get online. Leo Morara kuja sema wameiba, lakini hakuna ule mtu anaenda sasa akifuata huyo anasema hivi, because hii ni coin iko na different sides, you understand, the stories kuna yenye inafanyika na kuna yenye kweli li collapse na ingine iliibiwa, unaona. Lakini all in all Kenya ni kwetu na hakuna mali nyingine tuko naye. Sasa ni hapa tu tunangangania hapa tutengeneze hii yenye kama tunaona kidogo inaenda hivi kombo mpaka ishike line.
Okay. But also pia ambia beshte yako that chema cha juza kibaya cha jitembeza. Like when your communication unasema ati people start fact checking Morara, start telling people what the president has done, if you're saying it too much, it means there's nothing.
But you know, also I think it's funny you say that phrase, because I'd saved it for, it is only in politics where usipojiuza hakuna mtu atajua kenye unafanya.
Exactly.
Right? Why? Because I do agree that yes, there will be times where opposition wants to smear you so that they can be able to, right? But I also want to highlight with what you've just said. And I've given you a chance to mention 3 awesome things that he's doing. Meshindwa. That goes umesema ya later. That goes to show you that sometimes there might not be enough to make noise about out there, because really and truly not a lot of successes are there. Sometimes
not a lot of success has been seen.
Yes.
You understand? Because you see We
And
we
felt.
only consume what we've seen failing and what we've seen being successful.
You can, a Kenyan can know.
But you see, there are other things that are on the pipeline. You cannot tell right now. You understand? Because I am not everywhere. We are just human beings. Where kama wewe unaishi, let's say unaishi Langata, unafanya job town. All you see is Langata Road town. Langata Road town. Na kuna barabara maybe na jengo pahali ingine yenye wewe haujui.
Si ndio kwa sababu tuna watch news. Wewe wacha buga. We watch news.
Umeelewa?
Wakenya wanajua what's going on in this country.
So all this you're saying it's going to take time for Kenyans to go on and see what is being done.
Exactly.
How much time? Me, before you answer, I'm calling next year. I think next year we'll start seeing some things.
By the end of this year, probably by the end of this year, next year, we will see now projects that are coming up, that are big projects.
And I hope they are really good.
They are really good because I have seen a couple of them myself. I've gone to a couple of projects.
Are we talking about the houses?
The houses, yes, I've seen the systems.
But there's low uptake
And
of
then,
the houses.
and then also, is it strategic? Because I mean,
Yeah,
it'll
it
be a
is.
year to elections, so tuwaonyeshe sahi hapa hivi.
No. You know, like a project like houses, you can't build them in 3 months. Si mahindi tunapanda. You understand? Hizi ni vitu zenye zinahitaji ni architect, engineer wanafanya kazi. Show house ziko nyingi bro. Tembea bana. Kuna manyumba nyingi.
Mimi sijaona show house.
Okay, mimi mwenyewe personally nitaenda kuomba rais anipatie watu kama 4 na through office ya Dennis Itumbi niende na kamera na videographer na wase kadhaa wenye wana oppose projects za gava. Tutembee na hao kwa projects zao kama 10 in 1 week. Tuangalia time yenye watu wako free. Tuende tuangalie zipo.
So you know,
Zipo.
I'm
so
just
many.
just
There are
reiterating.
new roads that are being constructed right now. So many of them.
I know they're not in Nairobi because I live here.
Yeah, but Nairobi we don't need new roads. We just need the ones. Sasa tutatengeneza wapi barabara? Nionyeshe mahali barabara inafaa kupita ijapita barabara.
And that's what we're talking about. Anyway,
Ndio si ni kazi ya
Nairobi,
nini?
we don't need roads. We just the ones that we have, zikuwe well maintained, zikuwe organized. Bas,
I just want to remind you, fellow viewers, that he already told us that if you listen to a politician, right, you are never going to get to the end of it. So don't engage. Right? I think we've already gotten the points. Now, like I said, when we started, I said we saw KRG, a lot of noise. We've unpacked the music. We've gotten into politics and so many other things. But then there's a time will he disappear.
Yeah.
And interestingly, right before he disappear, we saw you making like a lot of political inroads.
Yes.
Right? Ulikuwa hata profile yako tunaona una hapo ma handshakes nini. And I think the question that everybody had, because at that point you were doing a lot of kasipul kind of things, and then you just fade to black, you can disappear.
Yeah.
And then you just came back with a song. We'll talk about the song.
Yeah.
But what happened? Where did you go?
I was around. I was at home doing my things. You see, like music has been what people and entertainment, what people knew me for. But I have other businesses that I run. So I realized I had forgotten about my biashara. Zingine zinakufa kiolela because I was not paying attention to a couple of them. So I decided, you know what? Wachana na hizi vitu kwa sababu enewe iko. Hakuna mahali muziki inaenda. Hakuna pahali kamera na mic zinaenda. Hizi nitazipata baadaye. But there are some things that I need to take they need my attention more than the entertainment, because you see, nobody cares about the musician's life apart from the entertainment they give you. You don't know if this guy is mentally okay. You don't know if his other businesses are doing well. They only care about the vibe you're bringing on the table. The vibe is awesome, but what about the personal issues of the artist?
Multiple times I read that you're a billionaire. In fact, I was yesterday, I was watching a few of your interviews, and you're quite a character, which I already know. But you keep mentioning that you're a billionaire. You know, as so many of our young people who are watching, wacha tu niseme kweli. Si tufundishe tu kwa billionaire. Okay, where do we start? Where ulikuwa billionaire aje?
I told you in my story very well, most of the things that I have. You see, These are not billionaire. Doesn't
Where
mean
Caribbean
you have money in.
You have 1 billion.
You have now 1 billion in your account. A billionaire is what the guy is worth from properties, investment.
Your assets.
Your assets. You understand? And if today you earn, let's say 100,000, every month, and this 100,000 is guaranteed. When you go to a bank, you won't be given 100,000 as a loan. They will give you something more because they are already sure huyu jamaa hii tunampea ataenda kuweka pahali fulani. Hii ingine itakuwa inalipa hii pole pole paka ile siku atamaliza ile vitu yake kingine kifanya. So being a billionaire is not that you have a lot of money lying somewhere on the side. No. There's so many billionaires that I know they are broke. They don't have cash. You understand? They have properties, then they don't want to dispose their properties. They are waiting for revenues to come from their properties. You understand? So I just decided I need to calm down my life first, and then focus on a few other things and make sure that all my businesses are well taken care of by people that I believe these ones. Tukifanya kazi, tutafanya kazi muda mrefu bila, kwa sababu in business landscape, every now and then things shift. Business was doing well until something came up, then people are not spending money on this certain commodity. Then now you need to make sure that you liquidify all your money and then close that business down, then open another.
What kind of business do you do? Hizi ni product gani unauza?
Saizi ninafanya construction, nafanya mchanga, kuchimbua, excavation. Yeah, so hizo ndo zile tuna focus nice right now. I don't want to do so many things in my head. Sitaki kichwa yangu iniume.
Is that your most lucrative business?
Yeah, that's what I do, like from morning paka jioni.
Forex?
No. Me, have you ever seen me doing those things?
You have Forex vibes.
I've never, but young
have
guy,
Forex vibes.
flashy cars, you've got money, you're online. Usually, when that happens, watu semanga ni Forex.
Oh, me sifanyangi.
Now, I'm sure. I feel like I've seen a video of you showing money in your car sometime.
I have money. That is my
no,
money.
but I'm saying, I feel like you've shown us, like you've done a video.
Mambo yamechemka. Tumetrade leo jo, umeona vile tumefanya.
Wewe watu wa hustle.
Sijawahi ambia watu, ona, in Nairobi, wewe fanya ile kitu inakufurahisha na roho yako.
Okay.
Ile kama unataka kuwa forex trader, wewe kuwa forex trader, tafuta hao jamaa. It's only that most of the forex guys, they have copied my ways. You have to, like somebody who is there, cool guy, cool vibes. Ndio labda wa attract watu wenye wanataka ku forex.
So no, I need you to explain to so many young people who they see you online, they see these forex guys online. Yes. Some people say, oh, forex is a scam. Some people, forex is real.
Yeah.
You've been in and around these circles. You're not a forex guy, but the fact that you've got money, you definitely know of people that have money.
Yeah.
Hii pesa ya forex ni kweli?
Mimi personally, sitaki kuharibia watu kazi. Lakini mimi siwezi weka pesa yangu kwa forex.
Itapotea.
Umenielewa? Kwa sababu what is forex?
Trading currencies, exactly. US dollar.
So you want to tell me a dollar right now is 129. You've kept it for 5 minutes. Then you sell it for 130 and you become a billionaire. You have only gotten 1 shilling extra. What are you telling me, bro?
No, but if you have
a lot of shillings,
if you do many,
how much?
Like trade with $1,000.
If you
say you're doing that with $10,000,
if you want to tell me you have invested $5 million, I will say that guy can get cool 100K USD. You understand? But the capacity of the guys who want to do forex trading in Kenya, you have 10K.
But
so is it a scam? Is it
to me?
Yeah.
Just haba.
To me, forex does not make sense. This one, I don't know if it's a scam or it's genuine. I don't know because I don't trade. I've never traded in my life. There is a person I used to know that wanted to do trading. Hizo mambo za fanya. Nikamwambia bro, hapa unapoteza time kwa sababu hii vile naona, kwa sababu mimi ni mtu wa biashara. Nunue kikombe 20 bob, uuze 25. Uko na 5 bob yako clean. Ukiuza 10, uko na 50 bob. Ukiuza 20, uko na pesa yako mzuri. Lakini hii ati unanunua dola, juu hizo vitu wanaleta ni graphs tu zenye unajua.
According
to what I've heard.
He's literally trading right now.
Yes, you're trading and you're making money. You will make 1 million today. But you see now, maybe you're trading the genuine one. You make small money.
He's about to start defending Forex.
But you see the ones that are, Mimi, according to what I've heard from the friends that I've seen them throw their money in trade. Wanipigia tu on the side akaniambia ni haje jo. Ule jamaa manzejo.
Ameniosha.
Manzejo.
Osha yosha pesa.
Kosho of course nimeshaiosha mara mingi because you cannot survive in Nairobi without kukoniwa. Kukoniwa ni standard hapa Nairobi. Umeelewa? Kwa sababu sometimes yule mtu anakukoni mtu unaamini. Mtu kama wewe tunashindanga na wewe hakuna pahali utaenda na kupatia so mbili. Unaenda one way unaanza kuletea story ya town. Umeelewa? Hiyo kisha pigwa hivyo unatuliaga. Unawachana tunasema huyo nime blacklist. Tena siku nyingine pesa yangu sitampa. But problem yenye tuko nayo inchi, watu wengi hawana information. Alafu watu wengi hawaridhiki na ile kidogo wamepata. Wanataka vitu wenye hawana. You understand? So unakuta mtu ako all over the place. Anadhani success ni hakuna pesa inakuwa imepotea. Pesa haijawahi kupotea kwa hii dunia.
Have you ever done anything illegal to make money?
No, I don't. Why would I be doing something illegal? And mimi kidogo yangu imenitosha. Mambo mingi mimi sitaki. Ile itakuja kunifanya nivurugike akili. I don't want. Even shows, some shows that are, when I was doing all this entertainment thing, I got so many shows and others I was like, guys, relax. Sipendi pesa hivyo. Kuna limits to these things. You know, my health is more important than money. Because if I got money today, and then maybe I was fatigued, alafu ni collapse kwa stage, nitumie tena pesa nyingi kwenda hospitali kuliko ile nilipa ya nini? You understand? So you need to understand, life is not about money alone.
Why don't you have a bodyguard?
I do have, but I don't move with him everywhere, because you see a bodyguard is another human being following you and monitoring you like a CCTV. So that guy can be very dangerous to you sometimes. You have to know, you know. So unajua, you know, I've seen many things that maybe I've never said on camera because of the people that work for me, or you know. But I prefer being alone. You know, for me, by the way, I talk too much on when there is a camera and a mic, but I'm an introvert. When
Really?
Yeah. I don't like talking. I don't. When you find me at home, I'm quiet. You can't even know this is KRG that you see on TV.
That's so interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, wewe ni introvert?
Mi naweza lala 1 month. Wewe unaweza lala 1 month?
I mean, lazima niamke nikule.
Yeah, mi naamka nakula narudi kulala. Me, I can do that. I've done that a couple of times.
Like, you can be
indoor
for a whole month.
When you took this hiatus, ulikuwa yani ni hivyo?
Naamka naenda kazi like for 1 hour, narudi nyumbani nalala. I sleep. I finish my I don't work manually. Si mimi natumia tu akili na mdomo. Naona hii inafaa kuwa hii, inafaa kuwa hapa, inafaa kuwa hapa. Manager kuja. Unaona huyu kuanzia leo siku hapa, huyu afanye hivi, afanye hivi. Si kila kitu iko sawa. Tuonane.
Sleep.
I don't want problems.
I don't want problems. Remember that one.
Yeah.
When I'm hearing you,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd be remiss not to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you have friends? Like are you, when you say you're an introvert?
Yeah.
And then I'm also hearing you saying, yes, I have a bodyguard, but I also have to be paranoid. You know, this guy, and as I do too much of my movements. So do you surround yourself? When you say when you're in a boys club, ama you have that inner circle, ama you're that guy who loves having many friends?
For one thing you should know always, in Nairobi, you don't have friends. You have people you do business with. So you do what is important. It's business we are discussing. If me and you were doing business, me and you will only do business. If I want a guy to chill out with, I will chill with another guy. We only chill. We don't do any business apart from chilling. You understand? I like your vibes. You're a cool guy. Come, I buy you a drink. We chill. Drink your drink and make the nonsense that you want. We vibe. There are those people that I work with professionally. I stick to my lanes. Yeah. I have different lanes for different people. Yeah.
Why is it like that? Do you find yourself where it's hard to give trust to people?
I don't trust human beings.
Eh?
I don't. I don't trust human beings.
I'm about to ask, like, who do you trust the most? But now you've said human beings.
I don't trust human beings. Even myself, I don't trust myself. There's some things I do and I make mistakes. And I'm like, yo, wait a minute. Did I just do something?
Hey, but Buga, you can't live in a world. Look, even I have trust issues, but goddamn, I gotta work with people.
No,
I gotta
working
bring people.
with people.
No, I gotta bring people in.
Do you know working with people? You know, when you and I, we are working, you are winning, I'm winning. So you don't have anything against me. You understand? But doesn't mean I should trust you 100% with my life. You understand? I have to put walls around where I'm sleeping. If people loved me so much, I could be sleeping on a field. Niweke kitanda hapo, niweke tu shade, voice ninyeshe. You understand? But you have to have your things on the private, you know. You understand? Because not everybody. You see, you might not want to hurt me, but there's someone else somewhere is wondering, why is it that only this guy is the one who is winning? Me, I try everything, it fails. You understand? And in this world, when you become successful, that's when you realize your success is not only this. It is not only the good side. It also has an ugly side about it. You understand? Because success brings a lot of envy, a lot of how will I say, entitlement. You know, there are some people who are so entitled in your property, and because they have seen you acquire it, and then they are like, mbona jamaa ni kati huyu jamaa. Tulikuwa tunaweza huyu jamaa ameenda hapa hivi ameongea tu na watu kwa ofisi, amesign karatasi zingine hivi, amekuja na mado. Huyu jamaa mpaka anikatie hiyo do half. You get like, because tulikuwa na yeye, but they don't understand you had your own journey. You started doing this thing from maybe 10 years back. They only came in your life 4 months ago. So they don't know hii success ya leo ni pain yenye mimi nilisikia 10 years back. Wewe unataka kuja uone tu rahisi. So I get that a lot. That's why I cut so many people off and say, you know what? I don't want things to do with people. Let me just have my own life, quiet, simple. I don't want people in my car. Before I could be out here with like 5 cars, right?
Yes.
I don't want them anywhere near me, because what are they doing? They could be somewhere else doing better things. But now chilling with me becomes so expensive that they feel like they have to be part of my life. You understand? And I can still do my life without them, because I was born alone. I went to school alone. I started doing my businesses alone. They only came when success was too much. You understand? And then I realized my expenses in life, they're so high than what I'm supposed to be enjoying myself on my inner circle, my family and my kids. So why would I be making 10 million in a month and only enjoy 1 million? I'd rather make 2 million and enjoy 2 million.
Do you know where every single, like these millions, do you know where every single coin is? And the reason why I'm asking that is there's a time we had a conversation about this guy who sent in a message, I think it was on radio.
Yeah.
And he said that he suspects my girlfriend is stealing from me.
Yeah.
So like, I'd like to know, do you know where every single coin is? Where I see with bundles of notes and everything.
Right now, I know right now, because I took...
Right
now, because I know I've paid attention to everything that I do it myself. You know, before I used to appoint people. You go and do this. Go to the bank, do this. Then you give them money to go and bank. They don't bank exactly because they don't know. You don't know how much they will put today, tomorrow. So there are those ones who used to steal, like in a million, they will take 100, they bank 900. Because I have other like balance iko mingi, utaangalia tu zile maziro, unajua? You concentrate on hizi maziro. Huku ukiona hii figure ya kwanza ikishuka ndio lakini huku hii ndogo ndogo pay attention. So they used to steal, but right now I think I've paid attention to so many things. That's why it took so much time to go and learn my things, how they are operating. And then things will, they're cool now.
Okay.
It's interesting you mentioned that thing about people eating from you.
Yeah.
There's this boxer. She's called Clarissa.
Yeah.
Clarissa. She's I think she's like the heavyweight champion at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Clarissa was talking about how, you make money and then you have people around you. So she'll buy a car for her sister. She'll buy a car. Like she'll give everybody everything. Yes. She's giving people, and the more she'd give them, the more they
want.
Like her.
Exactly. Now it got to that point in my life as well, because I'm everywhere. Mm-hmm. So, and also it was giving people in my life pressure. You understand? When brother KRG, let's go on a ball. So they don't have time to enjoy what they have. Unakuta mtu ako na tao peke yake, lakini juu ni brother yangu ama ni ako ama labda watu wanaonanga na yeye ama labda na mdate, ana feel like anafaa up standards afike levels zangu, you understand? So I realized nakosea watu wengine pia, wacha tu tupunguze hizi side shows. Let us just focus on what is important, the music. The reason why I was doing all these things to bring you to my personal space is because I wanted you to pay attention to the music. So zima hizi vitu tuache tu muziki peke yake, because we already got the attention of these guys. Our YouTube is doing well. I drop a song without creating chaos, and the music is doing well. So that's where we are right now. So let us just focus on what is important. We get the money, we help those ones we are supposed to help. Wengine wenye wafai peleke upumbavu mbali.
Two things. I know time is going, and I mean, we could continue talking about this.
Yeah.
So first, I want us to talk about girls, right?
Yeah.
Every time we have a conversation about, relationships in 2025, guys are like, oh, madem tu wanataka pesa. Oh, madem tu wanataka. Now, from
unataka watake nini?
Thank you.
Watake watu.
Okay, akutake akupeleke. Okay, hiyo biashara unataka tufanye mimi na wewe, because at the end of the day, if you are dating me to marry me, we will have to sit down. Understand? If I was a chick, you are a guy. Mimi umenipatia role yangu. Mimi ni kukupatia wewe support, kukupenda na ujinga yako. You understand? And I am loyal to you. I don't do work. I don't work, but you work.
So you don't want your girl to work?
Me, personally, I will never want my woman to work, because if she has a boss and I am supposed to be with my girl, the boss calls, she will go to work. Sasa mimi utakuwa utaniacha mimi uende kuona mwanaume mwingine. Umenielewa?
Ako job.
Lakini anaenda kumuona job.
Exactly, anaenda kumuona job kwa sababu anataka do. Umenielewa? Sasa kama hii do tunaweza hii do yenye mimi niko naye tunaweza lipa hiyo salary ya huyo boss. Si tuache tu hiyo kazi, tufanye kazi yangu kwa sababu my life is already a job.
What if kazi ni kitu yenye yeye anapenda, like she's not doing it for her salon. Yes, she gets paid at the end, but she's actually doing something that she was passionate about.
Career, like nimeenda nimesomea.
Kama tulikutana ukiwa kwa hiyo setup, ni sawa. Unajua hii mambo ya love ni maelewano ya watu wawili. If the moment you bring in a third party, hiyo biashara imeisha. Hiyo biashara funga, toka hapo enda. Unajua sasa huyo hakuna relationship hapo. You understand? It's only that we are conditioned that everybody must work.
Yeah.
Not everybody must work. Trust me.
It wasn't Sase God. God said, I feel like it was God who said, go out there and work. And now you're saying nobody...
Toil.
Okay. You go there and work, but doesn't mean that you work every day.
You got
there are those guys who they have to work daily to earn the 20,000. There is a guy who will only work for 5 minutes and earn that money. You understand? So you cannot tell that person that works for 5 minutes to earn salary huyo msewa 1 month, I work every time. So kama yeye atataka time yake aispend kufanya vitu zingine, acha afanye. Labda kama anataka kusoma, labda kama anataka kufanya art, anataka kulearn kitu kingine, acha afanye kile anataka.
So issue yako ni asiende kutafuta pesa ama asiende kwa ofisi na wanaume wengine?
Hapana, mimi personally. Kama tulikutana wewe unafanya kazi na mimi nikakuwa sawa naye kwamba wewe unafanyanga job kutoka asubuhi mpaka 5. Mimi najua siwezi, I am not expecting you any time you're in between that time. But if we have something we were supposed to do and I feel ni important kuliko hiyo pesa nyona earn, then tutatafuta another alternative. Wewe acha hiyo kazi, ile mshahara ilikuwa ngapi si ndio hii, then tunasonga na maisha.
Lakini bro, hiyo kila siku sasa itakuwa anakuja kwako for
and then now you're going to start complaining.
So
mukielewana kama
it's going to be now pegged to a point where
you're going to get tired of me.
Yeah, not even that, but it's roles can, not really roles, but it gets to a place where she can go on and say that you frustrated her financially so that she can leave.
Yes, you know, love is a very complicated topic. You understand? Everybody akona ways of how they want their life to be. You understand? For me, my love life, I will want a partner, a friend in my woman. You understand? Like, let us build together. You understand? Let us do whatever we are doing, because at the end of the day, we are stuck in this world together, me and you. If I make mistakes and you are not there and you could have seen it, you are busy doing other things, and then you come and blame it all on me, then I will also be wondering, what are you doing? Because kama uliona mimi nikifanya makosa, na wewe tunakuanga na wewe kwa maisha, na hii maisha tulisha hapa ni mimi na wewe mpaka mwisho wa safari, na ukaacha mimi nifanye makosa ama watu wengine wakafanya vitu yenye mimi labda nilikuwa busy na pay attention to other things, then it's also your mistake. Si ni kweli? But at the same time, wewe ukikosa maisha yako iende mbele, ndio hujasonga pahali in life kwa sababu ya unahitaji kukua kwa kazi, na ukawache kazi ukuje ukae na mimi na unaona mimi nafanya upumbavu, I also blame you. Si ni kweli?
So the blame is her. It's on her.
No. I'm not saying. I'm saying we blame
each other. Okay.
You understand?
All right.
But if you have decided it's on both of us, this is the route. Let's say you right now, you decide now you will be doing your podcast, and you are not doing well financially. You understand? But there is a one woman who has just decided, mimi nakufa na ujamaa. Nawacha job yangu pale nilikuwa nalipo kama 20,000. Nikuja ni focus na ujamaa, career yake naona itakuwa brighter. You understand? So amewacha kazi, amekuja amekuwa camera guy. Anapigianga kamera yako hapo safi mpaka mkue successful. Mnamkawin. Was it a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing.
It's a good
Exactly.
thing. Yeah.
You understand? Na sasa wewe ukipata pesa, hautafeel huyo mtu amekuwa burden kwako. You will pamper her kwa sababu you have seen her suffer and toil for you to become successful. You understand? So you have to be loyal to your partner. That's one thing I know. You have to be loyal.
Do you experience loyalty in Nairobi?
Not
You've never
about
cheated?
Me, if I'm loyal to someone,
Yeah.
I don't cheat. Why should I? I know I'm cute. I have opportunity to do all these things, but I don't have to cheat and to do all these things, because what I'm going to get from another woman, I can still get from this woman, because women are women. You understand? If you decide to be with one person, just be with that one person. Hata ukiomba Mungu anasikia maombi yako. Lakini wewe unakuwa na huyu mganga, kesho yule alikuwa na makanga, huyu mwingine alikuwa na mrogi. Mna confuse elements zenu, hata maombi ifiki binguni vizuri.
Umesikia? Ukihook up na mganga na mrogi. We literally had a whole episode. This guy, anyway.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that's how me I view life. You understand? Just be grounded to one person. Kwa sababu mbona unataka kukua kama makanga? Mbona unataka kuonja kila kitu hii town?
So you're saying you never, like you're a monogamous, you're not a cheater, you've never cheated?
Me, I don't do such things.
You've never cheated?
I don't cheat.
Look into the camera and say,
I don't cheat. I don't. For real.
We need a polygraph in the studio, man.
Yeah, I don't.
Tukuweke hapo hivi.
Sawa.
Me, I don't.
Okay.
Na kama kuna mtu aliwahi cheat na mimi, akuja aseme tulicheat na yeye wapi.
Sawa. The wewe. Comment section.
The one the cheat day.
I don't cheat.
I love it.
Let's talk about loyalty. Huh?
Yeah.
Do you always feel that sometimes people might be wanting something from you?
Of course.
In being and around you, and the fact that we're talking about relationships, and it being Nairobi, do you always get some point and you're like, you just want money from me?
Of course, I get that a lot.
I mean, you are always talking about money. Tunapenda pesa. Excuse.
Yeah, I get that a lot. But you see now, when you see, like when you see me on TV, it's a different person when you meet me in real life. When you come in real life, you realize, hey, I've just gotten the smartest guy in this town. Huyu kumdanganya ni ngumu kidogo, una get, because you can't lie to me.
If I text you, I tell you niko na emergency.
Come again?
If I text you, right? Let's say like yesterday we went out on a date, right? And then now today I text you, I tell you, niaje buga.
Yesterday.
Mala. Imagine. It's an emergency. Wewe unasikia kitu inaitwa nimeita kama ni problem ama nimeita emergency.
Excuse me. Emergency unapigia 911. Mimi kama wewe
ngoja kwanza nimekwambia yo nini mobile banking yangu imehang.
I've gotten that already many times. You understand? Not even from girls, even from boys. In Nairobi, people survive different ways.
Yeah.
So you will be with people, they're your friends, you chill together, they are your boys, they realize, Umse has a lot of, akona cash, kitu kama hiyo. And then, anakaa na kuchorea, anakuambia kuna ka pressure nini, bro nikopesha ya 100k, nikupee check ya kesho kutwa, nitakuongezea kitu juu. You know, there are those ones unafanya once in a while, then you realize you're just a fake guy, you understand? So you will help. Sometimes it's not about the money, it's about the action. Wewe umefanya tu na roho mzuri kwa sababu wewe ulikuwa unamwaminia huyo mtu na problem yake, but because it was a fake story, then how many fake times will you want to live in this world? You understand?
So wewe haupatiani pesa sasa hivi?
Pesa siwezi kuna kupatia pesa, kwani pesa ni kitu ya kupatia watu?
No, but like senior kwambia, okay, so I have an emergency.
Hiyo ni emergency yako.
So what are you going to tell me? You're going to tell me you're not sending me the money?
Your emergency is not my emergency.
So, excuse me.
Yeah.
You're hollering at me. We're not on a date.
But that's a stretch. Yesterday.
Finish your problem.
Like,
go finish your problem.
Yesterday, today.
You have emergency.
I'm your 911.
You can't have that.
How do you think we're going to keep moving
forward? You're unaleta scam. Hiyo ni uongo bana. Hapa acha kutubeba kama unatubeba kama hiyo ni yako bana.
Okay, 1 week later. Okay, sawa. Damn, even 1 week.
Hapana, usilete hizo sinema hizo.
Because if we hadn't met, like, would you die?
If I know in Nairobi already, ukishafika kama 25 years ukiwa boy, ushaona vituko zote za mademu anaweza fanyia mtu.
Sio vituko. Guys, things happen. Like, okay. Another one.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful you're here since we're talking about Nini, and then now after that we get into music.
Yeah.
So there's a guy.
Yeah.
There's a clip played for guys a few weeks ago, and this guy when he chipos a babe, the next morning, wewe unajua sawa wewe unaambia tu dem wewe ni kudrop wapi ama wewe taxi yako whatever.
Yeah.
But this guy what he does, he has a goodie bag which has like some snacks, taxi money, you know, some I think some good things a babe would need.
Yes.
For
Basically
a sleepover, toothbrush, you know,
okay.
right? I want to hear what you would have, right? What you would have for this girl. You understand? Because sababu umesema pesa hapana, but I want to know. Mimi nimekuja nime sleepover kwako. I don't care whether tulimit jana ama tulimit last year. Sawa, nime sleepover.
Yeah.
So I'm your responsibility. Sasa nikitoka kwako.
Yeah.
Talk to us. Let's imagine we're woken up.
Sasa
how do we start from there?
First of all, I don't do such things. I don't do those one night stand na hizo vitu random. I'm not a random guy in love because
so everybody you've hooked up with is more than once.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't do hizo random stuff because
so you only
how you know in 1 year there are 395 days.
What?
395.
Bro, let's see. 65. 365. Yeah, 365. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. 365.
Lakini last year ilikuwa refu.
No. Tuko na 365 and a quarter days, ndio?
Yes, yeah.
Tuko na 365 and a quarter day in a year. So, you want to tell me wewe ukikuwa mtu tu wa baba utakuwa na wasichana wangapi?
Ni kweli.
You understand? Hiyo utakuwa confused element on hadi.
But one night stand you're not dating them.
But why would you, mimi siwezi taka kuingia hiyo life as in personally, you know, we are talking about mimi najiongelelea hapa, mimi siwezi taka hiyo mind.
Okay, let's imagine umeanza kudate two days. Sawa.
Yes.
So clearly since we wafanyanga hizo one night stand,
Yeah.
by the way, hata sisi tufanyanga hizo. So umefanya hiyo. Wengine we listen, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's her 1 month. Let's imagine it's 1 month. You guys have been dating for 1 month. And this is your first sleepover, right? So unapatia, okay, mumeamka the next morning. How do you start? Where do you start from? Unamfukuza.
Hapana, mmekutana wapi kwanza? Unajua kuna mtu
wewe una meeting wa demu wapi?
Una meet wapi?
Mimi nimekutana na mademu tofauti pale tofauti.
So hizo place zako.
Yeah.
Sawa.
But it depends. If we met in a club.
Are you giving her taxi money?
If she needs taxi money, utampa pesa.
Okay, how much? Because that's what we couldn't agree on, right? I said taxi money should be between, I said 1,500, right?
Yeah, 1,500.
I said 1,500 to about 2K, meaning that, like, hii tu ni ya kwenda home. Si wakasema, ulisema how much?
2K ametoka Rongai.
Exactly. I said.
Inategemea, unajua, okay, wacha nikwambie. Inategemea huyu mtu unampatia 2K kama place yenye nyinyi mlikutana.
It's far from her house.
Let's say mlikutana mkaenda town. Mlienda town. Mlala wapi town?
Kwako.
No,
Sasa
ini kwako
kama
mumeamka
kuna
kwa
matatu ni pali ya Uber, itabidi mna deal na Uber.
Wait, you see you gonna make me go with the matatu home?
I
No,
mean,
it
kama
depends, kama
unapandanga
tulikuja na matatu. Kama mimi na wewe tulikam na hiyo
Wewe
matatu.
nataka umepanda matatu wapi wewe? I'm talking about
No. Mimi sijiongelelei mimi naongelelea maboy.
No,
Kama vile
hapa
mimi
ni
na-
You're
kujiongelelea.
speaking for yourself.
Mimi sifanyangi hizo vitu so
No,
sijui.
so you're dating
We're
your girl.
imagining.
She's
We're
come for a
imagining
sleepover.
unafanya.
Stop kuimagine vitu ifanyiki.
You're not gonna give her even a toothbrush to brush her teeth.
No, ndo nakwambia. Kama tukienda home kumaanisha huyu ni mtu. Unajua first of all unafaa understand kama ni mimi tunaongelelea. Where I'm taking you where mimi siwezi peleka dem home.
Oh, okay.
You understand? Kwa sababu huko kuna majamaa wengine wanaishi na mimi. Hawa
You have
boys
kids,
there.
yeah.
I cannot just pick a random chick and take them home.
Oh wow. Kwa sababu unajua kuna watu wengine, I know you're watching. Daddy brings all sorts of girls home.
Akona aunties wengi.
No. Me, I have principle. Manze mimi ni Mwafrika jo, mbaya sana.
Mom brings different men home every night, you know.
No. Me, I don't do such things. Siwezi chukua tu msichana nimpeleke tu home.
So unampeleka wapi?
Sasa tukichukuana kama ni tunaanza kitu. Of course tutaanza na mahoteli nini. Kama nilikupika nitakudrop.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Kama alijileta.
Kama alijileta atarudi tu bila alikuja.
So hapo tu unamwambia stage ya matatu iko hapo kwa nini nje ya
nategemea
hoteli?
kwanza huyo mtu ni nani. Unajua kama unataka kukaa na huyo mtu for long lazima umrespect from day one.
Lakini kama hauplan?
Ati?
Kama
uplan mbona hata ulikuwa unamuita? Achana naye.
Njaa.
Chorea.
I don't know if you remember, I told you we were talking to a politician.
Chorea.
He will turn the answer to fit the question.
Yeah, chorea, but bro, kama hutaki huyo demo, achana naye kumwestia time uanze kumpandisha pikipiki nini. Achana na hiyo mambo.
Bas.
Waachana naye.
Talk to them.
Lazima.
Wanatuestia time.
Si lazima kwa sababu unajua hii mambo ya maboy na madem. I feel like madem wanafanya vitu zingine crazy right now because of the past experiences. Zenye machali wamekuwa akiwafanyia mpaka wanawahatu unakutana sasa dem amefika ile mwisho. Sasa akikutana na wewe ukianza tu kumdate, ukienda tu kwa bafu anaingia kwa wallet yako ukioga. Anakuchuna kitu kwa sababu anajua wewe unataka kumtumia tu biashara ikatike hapo. But when you put your best foot forward, unasema I want to be with you, this is how I want us to work. Mkiagree, msonge mbele. Because hii mambo ya kujump from what are we looking for? What are we looking for as guys?
Is everything biashara to you? Because say reference relationship to biashara and it's not the first
Life
time.
is business. Ama?
Also, I want you to understand that Buga, I know he's Kisii, but he's half Indian.
Yeah. Life
Dukawala
Okay.
vibes.
All right.
But life is business. Ni ukweli. When you wake up in the morning, you have to know I have to eat, I have to do a couple of things, I have to, pay bills, this and that. So you cannot just be an idler in this world. Ni ukweli, you have to focus on what is important, do what you're supposed to be doing, plan your day, do this and that,
Yeah.
Come on. So pia huyo dem si akona life yake kama hiyo yako. So mbona wewe unataka tu kumtumia heart break alafu mtoke tu hivyo kama fala tu kwa sababu wewe yako iko sawa. Wewe uko kwa gari, uko na nyumba, uko na vitu zako zinaenda vizuri. Wewe umeona wewe ulimchukua tu kama tissue umtumie alafu wewe kwa garbage.
You are invited to the next women's conference. Hallelujah. And all the ladies said, there we go.
You can't do that to a human being, bro. You can't. Hata wewe wacha table itan sasa wewe ni kaboya hujaomoka. Na kuna mama amekunokia na kuchukua na kupeleka hoteli alafu asubuhi akupatii kitu kana kwambia
Kwa matatu. Uko kwa stage. Na
unakarara na jana huko ulikuwa una enjoy ambiance nini unasikiaje?
Eri ni teseke na life, man.
Exactly the point. Sasa pia afadhali dem pia ateseke na life.
There we go.
Kuliko ana enjoy vitu bomb lakini has nothing.
Mama where what?
No, I'm just saying. So unajua hivyo ndio kuko kulingana na vile mnaileta hiyo question. Let to rephrase the question equate the other way. You understand? Don't do something to a human being thinking wewe iwezi kufanyikia. You understand? Hata kama itakufanyikia wewe. Hii unajua DNA yetu inabeba damu. Damu hii hata tujui damu yangu imekaa dunia miaka ngapi. Wewe unajua damu yako imekaa dunia miaka ngapi because wewe ulipatwa na mamako na babako walikuwekea half. Pia walitoa hivyo. So kuna vitu zingine ukifanya
that's not how it works.
It works like that.
That's not.
Don't digress.
Okay.
No, wewe hebu toa damu ya
piga somersault. Yani hapa hivi kwa brain.
Toa damu ya baba yako kwa mwili wako
sasa.
Hebu toa ubakisha ya
mama. We all
mama.
have the same blood. Do I have to translate shit to you?
No,
You
I know what you mean.
We
but
blur.
It don't
Blur.
work like that.
It works
It
like
works like
that.
that. Everything
works
is
like that.
it runs in your DNA if you don't know. So the
Yeah,
things that
DNA,
you,
yes. Okay, yeah,
exactly.
cool.
So whatever you do
I'll
today,
digress. I've stopped.
so whatever you do today, as your physical body,
Yeah.
the data is recorded in your DNA.
It's true. It's true.
You understand? And we live in a physical world, but there's also another spiritual world.
You know, I love talking to Buga. Tunaweza endelea kubonga hapa hadi kesho mazee. And you're really dropping some gems. I want us to talk about music because, you know, after you came back after a long hiatus, now we know what you were up to. And thank you so much, by the way, for sharing with us because si mas tutuambie lakini you're a very open guy. You came out with new music with Arrow Boy.
Yeah.
Talk to
Ukiuza
us
makaa.
about Sina Noma.
Ni pesa mimi natafuta. So this song we did I'd given you a story of how, like, back in the days we tried to do good music, but people were not paying attention. So we decided, you know what, people don't love stories that resonate with them. They want vibes. So that's when we quit doing music that we have written. We want to do zile vitu tu za vibes. Tuende tupige drinks, to studio mic washa. Nini, tukaleta hizo madhogodhani manini. We brought the vibes that people
Unaita
want.
ngoma zako madhogodhanyo?
No, but
jina ya
those
ngoma.
Mambo ya
are
mechemka
those are
ilikuwa
not
hit.
music.
Uh-huh.
Those are just vibes.
Yeah.
You cannot call those kind of song that we put out music. That is vibes. Music is something that you listen to and you shut up. Like unasema ndio hiyo kweli wameona maisha yangu. We used to write that kind of art. But because the market was not open for that kind of thing, we focus on now wanataka hii vitu tu ya papa beat kali nini maneno tu ile na trend tunaingia town. But we wrote this song in 2017. We had the demo, we kept in the studio. We said this song, if we put it right now, it will not go anywhere. Arboy tuende tukafanya zile vitu zingine. Then now we came, we sat down, then I realized, okay, so hizi vitu zime calm down kwa inchi. Now people can listen. We have gotten their attention. Now we can put out proper music that it has meaning to the people. They can reason with this music. Now is the right time to give them the product that we want to give them. So we have a lot of music that we wrote before that right now it can make sense to the people. Yeah, so they should be expecting more of conscious music from KRG.
Conscious, I like that.
This is real music from me. This is music that I've created.
Leonardi unauza makaba.
No, hiyo ilikuwa scene.
Yes,
najua
ndio kwa
ni
video.
kwa hiyo ngoma.
Exactly. So you have
Makani
to give
serious,
people
huh?
hope and you have to show them that life is a journey. Don't see the highlights alone and forget that the trainer that scored the player that scored the best goal today, he was training the whole month, you know. Yeah, man.
And when you look at, you know, you've done from Mambo ya Michimka, then you were at some point you were doing dancehall style,
Yeah.
and now listening to this one, it also has a different vibe. Are we seeing more music? You're saying conscious, but is there a genre? You're not held by genres.
Before I was stuck in dancehall because that's the genre that I know the best. But I realized there are people. The music is shifting. Music shifts with time. There's a time we will listen to more of Lingala. Amapiano will come. Later we'll go to bongo. Then dancehall. Music shifts. So when it goes, if you are an artist and you're stuck in your own genre, then you are not in the market. And we are doing this music to educate people, and at the same time it's business. So we have to shift with the market. So we will go with what is going. So if Afro House comes right now is the hottest thing, you'll find me inside.
Bas.
Yeah, I'm a
Love it.
businessman. At the end of the day, I'm not here to entertain people alone. I'm here also to do business.
I love it. All right, we're going to play a small game here. Can you tally the amount of times he said business on this episode? Which is a kama wewe. There'll be a prize for the person who gets it first.
And biashara counts as well.
Biashara counts as well. Just write down how many times this guy said biashara business.
Yeah.
Final, as we, you know, this has been a great conversation, and there's so many things that we've learned about you and from you.
Yeah.
Looking, you know, let's look, today's 2025, let's look 2050. 2050. Right? That's 25 years from now.
Yeah.
Right? Where do you see yourself? I know it's such a cliche question, but
I know where I will be. I have a plan. I have a plan for 30 years in my political field, you know. It's either I will be vying for presidency or I will be a CS in the Republic.
so starting your journey, where do you see 2027? What seat will you be vying for?
MP.
Which area?
Where?
Not yet. Just sitaki kusema.
Na watu watakuchukua Mosocho.
Claim it now.
No. I already have a place,
Uh-huh.
but I don't want to put it right now because I believe when I say that I'm coming for this specific area, the MP of that region will not be doing the job he's supposed to be doing, or the job she's supposed to be doing, because atakuwa anaona competition ni buga. Kwa hivyo sasa hapa ni kujipanga, ni kukula hii mali iko hapa, either ni kuenda one way, lakini kwa sababu sitaki afanye hivyo, nataka afanyie wananchi kazi. So kwa sababu sitaki ya panic, nataka asikuwa anajua competition yake ni nani, ndiye afanyie wananchi wangu kazi, kwa sababu at the end of the day pale atawaachia, ni hapo mimi nitakuja kuendeleza, ndio tuende steps haraka.
Is it the same area you grew up from?
No, I don't want to give you clues.
Okay. All right. So 2027, we're going to invite you back here.
Yeah,
and of course,
come.
you
I'm doing campaigns on the ground.
And we expect that when you come here, you will give us at least 10 things, because that time sasa unajua beshte yako atakuwa amemaliza 5 years.
Yeah.
Utuambie the 5 things or 10 things that you are proud of, and 10 things that you're unhappy about, or 3 things about.
So, no problem. Me, I'm going to do more of I will go and pay attention more, because you see, like, I've been paying attention to my private business. Right now, I want to go and pay attention more on the political field and what the boss is doing, the president. And then if I get highlights of what, I will put them on my social media, because, you know, mimi nule msemo mwenye social media yangu ni kuweka ile kitu mimi nataka.
Alright.
Sikia leo tunapanga manyumba za serikali, tunapanga zote hapo zikae vizuri, watu waone. Ndio sababu kuna wenye wananifollow wenye ni maadui na marafiki.
Sinona ameanza campaign. Sinona ameanza campaign. We cannot wait to see you live in action. But follow his YouTube channel. Check out this brand new video. Tell him your YouTube channel.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is KRG The Don Radio. Yeah, it has good music out there. Go listen to the music that you'll resonate with. You know, there are good vibes for babes. Yeah, there are vibes for the party guys and people who love life, conscious music as well. We put out every content.
And are you bringing KRG Radio back?
KRG The Don TV.
TV, yes, yeah.
Not sure. I don't think I'm in that space right now, because I think I need to be out there doing real jobs, not digital jobs, because digital jobs have a lot of frustration.
Ah,
You
okay.
understand? So I prefer doing real jobs. I prefer doing like podcast and disappear and go back to my job.
All right.
It's much more important.
I mean, aside from looking young, he's definitely, I'm sorry, every time he says, you know, this, because of the way he described Forex. Sounded like my grandpaps trying to explain shit. But you know what? Even me, I feel like that. Like, so there's this, you know, like, what was it called? But I'm glad that I did not jump onto that ship.
Good
Remember, what was it called? NFTs. My guy went 2022. I went
Do you
for
know how much
conference.
a Bitcoin is right now?
My guy, you keep quiet. NFT is what?
Okay,
There's a guy who
NFTs,
bought
yes, but-
an NFT for 64 million or something,
But-
which
was
is
scammed,
worth
bana.
nothing.
Yeah.
I went to a Meta gig, 22 in London, and I'm sitting there and everybody's NFTing this, and they even gifted us an NFT. My
Even
guy,
they
I
have-
didn't even know how to receive it.
I have NFT, but I didn't invest so much.
I didn't know
invested
Nah,
only-
it
how
depends,
to
it depends
receive
on what
it.
NFT you have.
NFT immediately. Right? I'm so
NFT
grateful that I didn't. You know,
was
that's what
a
I'm saying.
scam.
So I'm glad that I was a shosh in that store.
Yeah.
But Forex, nani atanichanua.
You see,
padi.
when you follow trendy ways of making money,
Yeah.
you will come to realize money does not work the way you want. Money works in a different way. You have to have a product you're selling, and you have to be the manufacturer. You have to get manufacturer, distributor, so that you can earn money.
Yo,
These
if
are the
will you
easy-
come for our boxers finance week? There's a week
I will
we're going
come, I will
to.
come, we'll
You'll
discuss.
advise our boxers guys on how to make
because
money.
hizi mambo za shortcut nyingi ndio unaona watu wanakuwa duped, because you are looking for shortcuts in life. There are no shortcuts in life. You have to have real guys who are doing great things for you to become successful.
I love it. All right, KRG, Maze Buga, thank you so much for making the time to come through. And we wish you all the best, man. We wish you all the best. Alafu, remember, Bebe amesema natunulia AC.
He said that.
Nitawahook up na mse wa
Wewe
AC
si ulisikia hiyo part?
wapate.
Nilisikia hiyo
Alisema.
Wananifix but I
Pesa
will hook
kuna,
up.
pesa utas my guy.
I will hook up with the AC guy and then wanafix up. Wafanye mambo.
Buzz. All right, guys, remember to subscribe if you haven't subscribed by this point, and like. I mean, there's so many gems that have been dropped here, and of course, remember to share and leave a comment. Baba, ulikuwa unatumalizia na nini?
Make sure that you get us to 100K. That's just it.
Yeah, subscribe.
Yeah, we're on a journey to get 100,000 subscribers and also to get to episode 100. So if you haven't yet, just go and subscribe and share. Knock on your neighbor's door. Alafu mwambie Boxpod.
Yeah, Boxpod TV is where it's at. And of course, I know you know that we have another awesome show that happens every Wednesday called Run the Tape. Make sure you catch it on Wednesday, 7 p.m., Boxpod TV. But don't forget, Boxers Day Out is happening on the 5th of July. Yes, it's a live show, and we have all the details in this quiz back that you're seeing right now. But we want you to get your tickets right now, because hatutaki useme ati tickets ran out and they're flying off the shelf real fast. So get your tickets. Tupatane. Buga, you coming for our Boxers Day Out?
Yeah.
Hells yeah, he'll be there. So come through and let's have a jolly good time. In fact, all the guys that have been guests on this podcast will be at the event. So what are you waiting for? Get your tickets.
We'll have plenty.
Don't make your Didi references here.
Aki,
Bye-bye.
siwache niseme.